hilarious that I was like, oh shit, this is.
I'm like, what the? And
I didn't mean to rush you with that. Ooh. Here, throw down on the wing.
Oh yeah, is that Chinese?
It's actually. Yeah, it's actually.
Oh, it's ridiculously
super good.
Yeah. Waiting on for the next out. You might as well say waiting on the late Puerto Rican.
I didn't say waiting on the late Puerto Rican. Just waiting on Vanessa. You can finish that. Like, I've had my fill.
Oh, I plan on it.
I wanted to just make sure it was clear.
Thank you.
But yeah, so like it obviously works, but the video card, when it's supposed to come straight out, it's like bending down.
We're gonna be on video too.
Yeah. Right.
There's video?
Yeah. Webcam in the corner.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
Yeah.
I just throw on a shirt.
We know how you exist, boy.
That's how I exist. That's how I live my life.
Yeah, like it's gonna look like.
And I go.
Yeah, it's gonna look like this.
Oh wow! Look at that.
Yeah, a little left screen there.
You're so fancy, dude. What a fancy dude.
Like, you'll get more viewers if you let me eat this wing on camera.
Stop it.
I see what you're doing, and I want you to stop eating so I can get it on camera now. Finish that wing. We're gonna find you more. We're gonna find you more food in the house. We're about to sit down.
Is that Edgar, the guy right there?
Yeah, this is the cow.
Okay, because he said something about Edgar.
I was wondering.
And I was like,
Edgar's the cow.
And I was like, who is Edgar?
Edgar's the one in the steak.
Oops, do you have a coaster?
Yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna take this to the kitchen. It's getting messy.
Yeah.
More viewers.
Yeah, it's being seductive. So yeah. So like it works, but if that thing dies in a year, I won't be surprised. The biggest issue I have, while I should have left it in the box and taken it straight to UPS or something like that, I just was too excited. I just was like, I can fix it.
Right.
So like I ran on it. It did everything I wanted. Once I like cleared it of glass and everything.
Right.
So like, but Kevin's life kind of went to shit at the same time. He had to move back to like. No. It's that like. It's that like he's the one that has to start like the next claim, so to speak, with UPS,
and then
for the obviously damaged video card.
Right.
So like everything else is fine. All the hard drives aren't going to get any glass in them and get ruined. The motherboard might be jarred by how the front panel acts.
Right.
But otherwise, what I ended up doing as a very big steal is that I do have a second computer that came with the TV. Did you see at least the thumbnail for the episode 2 of Pseudo Podcast where it was like out in the living room?
Yeah.
That's done with a $600 buy where I got the computer, which is almost as good as mine. Right. The Vizio TV out there on the bottom that's in the fireplace. Right. And then keyboards, mics, and mouse. Wow. So like I can now either stream in here or I can stream in the living room at will. I can effectively do whatever I want. And between doing all the setups for that white iPhone and then like getting the mics for the tablet. So I had a little desk piece there that was just bolted into the drywall and it fell from someone's laptop.
Oh.
So this is all like ghastly drywall gaps right here right now.
So you just put it.
Oh, I put the wood there for the better anchor.
Yeah.
Like on the post or whatever. But yeah. Otherwise, my job, we can all right, let's find you more food. Because we're about to sit down for like 2 hours.
No, I'm good. I'd rather sit. I can eat after. I don't want to.
What are we? Is this podcast like anything goes, or what is it
anything
about?
Goes.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Goes. Like,
I was wondering what it was about. I wasn't sure what we were.
Oh, trust me, I've been thinking of shit to talk about.
I was like, what am I supposed to talk about? I wasn't, because I don't come prepared for many things.
Aaron,
you come prepared to drink is about it. I think.
Oh yes,
that's about it.
I always.
I picked this seat, so can I sit here?
Yeah, you're good. Your seat? No, you're good. You're good.
Where's your seat?
My seat. Okay. It may be that one, so I have easy access to the computer, but I can use my phone as well for the mouse.
Okay.
That dish. She'll be here probably like after 5. So,
okay.
We'll probably leave this chair because those 2 chairs go right here. So, Brandon, if you're good being locked in for like 2-3 hours over there.
Okay.
Yeah, you got your beer?
It's there. I'll probably need another though. Just saying.
Yeah, I can.
I can fetch it for you.
I can't drink.
So.
Why can't you drink?
Because I'm
pregnant.
Pregnant?
No.
Oh, okay. We
got excited.
He suspected
we
that.
We got excited.
Really?
Because you texted, you were like, I can't drink. I was like, can't drink.
I said I won't, but thanks.
I would be really excited if you were pregnant.
You'd be really what?
Excited.
He'd be excited.
I love babies.
He'd be excited. I'd be like subtly judgmental.
I would hope so.
I have high expectations for your execution, even though you're wilding out.
Exactly.
Like, you wilding out, but, like, there's a safety lock
babies,
on you.
Though.
Yeah, no, his is plugging the string. All right, let's talk about that on the podcast.
Let's get moving.
Stop it.
Testing.
Testing. I guess I'm sitting here, I guess?
Yeah, you can get that far side of your bowl being locked in there.
Okay. Cool.
Let me fix my hair because I did not know there was fucking video. I thought it was just audio. This is how I fix my hair, by the way.
I like it. You are so funny. Oh my
Sorry,
gosh.
I have a cough.
You need some water? So why can't you drink? You never explained that.
I just don't want to drink it dry. I'm a lightweight.
Oh, okay.
So if I
That's
have
fair.
like
Okay,
one or
that's
two
fair.
beers.
Okay.
And plus, I
Okay.
don't want to have to get up and pee in the middle of the podcast. And
I know, I'm gonna do that anyway. My small ass bladder.
so what's up?
Just hanging in there, living the dream.
Yeah. Same.
It took me so long to get here. I was like, what state am I in? I'm still driving. It's horrible.
I was gonna offer you to carpool, but I know
I wish you
I
would've.
knew I wasn't gonna be on that. I was in a Popka,
thing.
so I wasn't even on your side of town.
That's your mic there on your left.
This?
Yeah, that's your mic.
Oh.
They're all the same. I just don't have
Oh,
I just don't have a
okay.
phone head for it. Yeah, no.
Is this mine?
That's yours.
This one?
To his left, but everyone else is right.
I've never been on a
Do
podcast.
you want me to move over and then you can sit here?
No, I'll show you once
Okay.
we transition. All right, let me go and get the
I've never been on a podcast.
Me
Have
neither.
you?
You're good.
Checking the shit out.
All right, and we are live. Yep, that'll show up over here. So Chad will be here. We can't see it. Watch this just so you can keep yourself in frame.
Sweet.
Where's the camera?
Back left corner there.
I know that.
Nice.
So I'm going to throw these down, or at least one of these down.
Awesome.
I'm so glad I'm not in Brandon C because
Why?
that
Everybody can
angle
see
on
you?
me would be horrible.
It'd be glossy. It'd be so shiny.
It would just
Be
be
so
all
fucking
double
shiny.
Every
chin.
angle is good on me, though.
Good for you.
Go on.
I'm just
Go on.
kidding.
Go on.
I'm not like
Good
that.
for
Throw on,
you.
you piece of shit.
Am I supposed to extend this? Are we allowed to curse?
Yeah, you can fuck off. You can fuck around. You can't. Like Vanessa go.
He
Yeah,
did. Wow.
I did.
Just right out the gate.
I did. I'm not
Right
shy
out the
about this
gates.
shit.
It's funny.
Oh, now I gotta
because-
adjust myself because I'm about to have that mic arm in my face.
Ooh, dude.
I'm remembering now that I sat in this very edge or something like that.
Mm.
Oh, where's that?
Oh.
Yeah, they stick.
Yeah, I'm
So, yeah.
all self-conscious now that there's
That's okay.
video. I didn't know there was gonna be video.
Video is better. Everybody
Video-
can see how beautiful you are.
Word song.
So
So good.
sweet.
So
You
good.
lying piece of shit.
Well, I'm not
Both go
offended that he
hard.
called me a cunt because on Facebook earlier I saw a meme and it was like that beautiful picture of all the arms with all the different skin tones and it
Right.
said, "We're all cunts." And I
Oh
hearted,
my gosh.
I hearted it because I was just like,
Which one's that? Blue?
they get it.
They get it.
Oh, it's gonna be watered down as fuck.
Yeah, but
I'm drinking milk and beer because I make great decisions in life.
Milk and beer.
That's milk.
Mixed?
Trust
Okay, let's put it this way. This is how
Okay.
Let me explain this to everyone
Yeah.
on the
Break
stream.
it down.
No,
to
get your glass
everybody.
out of the way. Get your This is your fresh,
see.
iced, golden monkey because we
Yes,
love that
it
shit.
is.
Okay, this is 2-day-old golden monkey.
With ice and no.
This is the milk I was having with the spicy wings. I just had you both try actually, and so this is fresh out milk, and then this is the golden monkey I have ready so I can get extra goober and by the end of this podcast because
We'll
I'm
probably
such a
split
lightweight.
that because I probably want some of that. But you
No,
have
I'll go get you.
have
I'll
no
go get you your
foam in
next
there.
one.
There's no foam.
I know because it's 2-day-old.
I know. How can you do that though?
I've been judging you this whole time.
Yeah,
just
you
look,
should.
just
a little
with my
bit.
eyes.
A little bit.
I'm okay with that.
Ew. The last time I had beer and alcohol, I threw up everywhere. Like my uncle tricked me. It was New Year's.
What do you mean by beer and alcohol? You want to break
Like
that
beer-
down?
beer and liquor,
I
beer and
meant
liquor.
liquor and milk. Yeah.
Oh, liquor and milk. Okay.
Oh, jeez.
I almost said the R word. I didn't want to offend anybody.
What,
But
beers and retards?
Yeah, no, I said I was gonna say I'm a retard. but
You're retarded.
I caught
No,
myself.
you're just Vanessa.
These are facts. But no, I was.
I was like, this is already going.
forgot how
Oh,
old
it's
I
gonna be
was.
great. It's gonna be
This
fucking
is
great.
just already
The
spun
only
out
way
of
that
control.
the only way this gets better is if Tiffany and her.
And demonetized.
Please. Not worried about that shit. I have yet to have you've been demonetized, but I You have to hit 1,000 subs. I have like 17.
Oh, well,
This is
so
yours, right?
baby steps.
That's
man.
mine.
Baby steps.
You can get water. Use one of those cups right there.
Good.
You know,
I thought you pointed at the vodka and said.
No. That's water.
Oh, okay.
Everyone thinks that's full of scotch or vodka or something. No, that's water. That's
actually,
a handle of water.
It's actually
Trying
really
to trick
disappointing.
me like my uncle.
It's actually
No.
really disappointing. Why would you put water in there?
First off, it's convenient. It saves on plastic. That's the second point. Third off, you know the liquor cabinet's in that closet.
Yeah, true.
Oh, okay.
You
Cabinet
remember,
liquor.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
gotcha.
Like the liquor cabinet's in there.
Cabinet closet. Gotcha.
Like if me and Melanie weren't in this room every day on our computers, and when our computers weren't in here, we'd probably be also cool to like smoke some cigars and shit.
So like easy access to the.
Oh
to
yeah,
the
it's
liquor.
all easy
See?
access.
All good.
But
all
like,
good in the hood.
yeah.
So why'd you shave?
Because my new job dictated it.
No.
Like all I can have there is like
Really?
a goatee or like a chin strap.
But
Yeah.
aren't you working outside? So why would it matter?
Because when you deal with pest products
The
like
shade.
chemicals, when you deal with like pest control chemicals, they don't want you to have a significant amount of like facial hair because it'll stick.
He's still mad that you left. That's where that came from.
No, I am.
I know he's mad that I still left. Once I explain what my new job is like,
But like
you're
the
both gonna
people
hate
you
me
left
more.
me with.
Damn.
Not
What do
cool,
you
dude.
want?
I
Like
thought the people were the best part.
it's just you.
Some people.
It's like you, Louise. Is Jess still there?
Who?
Yeah, she is.
Oh
she
yeah,
is.
yeah. I haven't talked to her in a while. I forgot.
Oh no, I had a nice, good, long chat with her before on my last day when I came through. Like that was such a great day.
Yeah, and you wouldn't even stay long enough until I arrived.
Were you on the clock that day?
We had a relationship outside of work. I wasn't worried
I don't
about
think
us.
you were.
No, I
Yeah.
never clocked in.
Oh, okay.
That was my full plan. Like I was gonna come in on that
Gotcha.
Tuesday, take the next day, Wednesday after
Still,
that. Thursday
though.
was my
I
first
remember.
day.
I showed up at 12:30 and I walked in and they're everybody. Oh, you just missed Aaron. He was just here. Oh,
Brandon.
great. Okay.
You are so salty. I'm so sorry that you still have to answer phone calls of idiots that want to get their medications filled.
Not for long.
Well, I loved it. Who told
does
me
that
this?
mean?
Who told me this?
Are you quitting?
I think Ginger told me.
No, I almost did, but and then that RC
Oh, that's right.
position popped up.
Oh,
so-
Did you
yeah.
apply for it?
Yeah.
You want to go be a homewrecker there?
Oh, that's right. You told me.
Right.
So, what's the status?
I got it.
You
So,
did?
Hallelujah.
Oh,
yeah.
okay, did
Thank-
HR give you the offer letter?
They called me today.
Okay,
actually.
perfect.
Yeah, they
Solid.
called
Is
me
it,
this
is it a pay
morning.
cut?
It is, but it's not that bad.
It's not that bad?
It's
Okay.
it's like a
Alright, I'm not
buck.
gonna ask like how much,
Yeah.
but yeah. Good, I'm happy for you, but I'm gonna
Really
fucking
excited.
miss you.
Yeah, it's.
Well,
I needed to because either I was gonna get that job or I was gonna leave. It was one or the other.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, you've been doing the same thing with the phone calls and everything. Like the same exact. Yeah. No.
Just awful.
So-
There's aspects of the job that I love, but other parts that don't.
Well, the only
make
things that we actually
conceivable
love.
sense.
The only thing I remember us loving was the fact that when you did data entry, you just get to sit there for like your whole
Yeah.
day and
Well,
like listen to whatever you wanted to.
I just got word yesterday that they're gonna stop cross training our veterans and start
Cross training.
like whoever we hire, we're starting their
With the
training
youngest.
with the PCC
Wow.
first.
That would
Yeah.
that was
So-
what I was saying. From
That
the
was
beginning.
my-
That makes
yeah.
because
more
they
sense.
really just like my bosses, like they're really just seeing they're listening to the complaints and things.
Yeah,
so
it took
they
them 6 months.
Right.
yeah, well
Jesus Christ.
they are doing what they can
Right.
because we have like
Because
no control over
I knew
anything.
recently they started like having actual face-to-face meetings with people, and the looks on their faces when people were actually telling them what was going on was, "I'm so sorry, I had no idea it was that bad."
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
they were talking about that
Yeah.
yesterday. They were like, "Oh, we have this disconnect. We don't know how the
Please.
we don't know how the people are feeling unless we meet
Oh my
with them.
gosh.
It's-
Oh my
we
gosh.
need you to.
Oh my gosh.
We need you meaning
Okay.
like function leads and groups
Okay.
supervisors
Yeah.
to kind of speak on their behalf.
You know, I'm hearing
Right.
all this.
Right.
I'm hearing all this, and I keep going
It's very
back to the
corporate,
meeting that
though.
I had that you set up,
Mm-hmm.
and I talked.
Yeah.
And now we're like 6
Yeah.
plus months later since that meeting. They're like, "Oh my gosh, wow, what?"
She does have the tendency to dismiss what people.
Oh yeah.
Oh, she had the
How
air of
people-
dismissing me
Yeah.
throughout that whole
Yeah,
combo, but like
like-
she was dismissing me either outright or dismissing me on account of she knew she could do nothing.
And if that was the
It's a
case,
little
that
bit of both, right?
if
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
and if that was the case, she probably should have just explained that.
Yeah.
Oh no, she
And that
subtly
way-
did.
Okay,
She
Well,
said, That's when.
I mean, I could respect that a little bit.
Well,
more.
like you got the breakdown from like Bree and them on how I basically like just stopped taking calls, and that's
yeah, but he didn't get caught.
It
He's
took
so
him- it took him
lucky.
2 weeks.
He's so fucking lucky.
weird
Oh, no,
that
it's
you
hilarious.
never
Yo.
knew.
no. Check
Because-
this, because I got the breakdown
ahead,
from Bree and
tell
them.
the
So
story.
okay, so I just decided I was done.
I remember. I was there.
Yeah. So like
and his adherence was not.
Yeah,
off.
I gamed it. I knew how to game it in that when you never opened the phone call program, it never tracked you otherwise. Like Thalia showed me, and I had to play a little bit of memory guessing game. I was like, if I never open Avaya, it'll never catch my adherence for what I should be doing, what I'm scheduled for. So I would just walk straight in and just start typing.
Yeah. So his adherence was like still
90 plus, all that nice and gold.
That's insane because if I'm out 15 minutes,
but you
I'm caught.
Yeah. But you opened Avaya. You opened the phone call program.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're getting rid of Avaya now.
Yeah, they're going to bring out Genesis and whatever. Yeah. So 2 weeks after I started doing that, and I was starting to figure out whether or not I was going to do the vendor job that my old boss was offering me.
Right, the route.
That was going to be cool, but then I got the pest control offer, and I was like, I would sooner learn something new than do more retail.
Of course.
Like the vendor thing, I actually am planning on trying to do that anyway. Like buy a route, flip it in like a few years. Like there's really good money doing that, and it's pretty brain dead, like do-it-yourself work. So I could still... have the kind of job that I want where I get to listen to whatever I want to, throughout my shift, like books and podcasts and stuff like we had with data entry.
Of course.
But now it's just all me running my own business. I don't answer to anyone but like a DM on like, hey, here's ad stuff. Woo. Like, answer your contracts. Yeah. So like...
And you got to keep learning.
But yeah, so I go...
You have to.
Yeah. So I went 2 weeks, and then like Bree and Claudia like called me down to like conference room B, like hella far from everyone else basically, it felt like. And they're like, okay, we were wondering why you didn't have any calls to review.
Yeah.
And they were just like, have you been taking calls? And I was like, no. And I gave it straight to them. What was like, no, I refused. And Bree throughout the whole thing was like, I have nothing but respect for you.
Wow.
On account of how you've handled it and how you went
Honestly, back then, we probably would have either written you up or... Yeah. I don't know.
No,
I wouldn't say fired, but
yeah.
Now we would have allowed it because he could have been replaced, right? He could have been replaced,
right?
Or we could have argued, but he was working. It wasn't work avoidance. He just wasn't doing the calls. He was doing data entry. So
here's the funny thing that at least what Bree told me, and I know you have more info than she does, but like on my last day, I couldn't help but ask like at least her the question. I was like, if I would have kept doing what I was doing, how long would it have taken them to fire me? And she's like, probably 6 more months.
Yeah.
I mean,
because it's a process. It's a process.
So
I'm saying we believe in coaching first.
Yeah.
We're not quick to.
Yeah.
So
I could like fake my way
even
through
if
that.
it is behavioral, we still give people a chance.
My biggest thing was, and I'm so happy that they're finally listening. But whenever I would reach out to somebody, I would get the same sort of cut and dry response But at the end of it, they would say, because we're really trying to, curb our turnover rate.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, well, in that case, start listening to these meetings. And it really would turn around. So I'm so thankful and happy that they're finally listening because it's not a good vibe.
No, it was...
Yeah.
Straight hilarious.
I feel your... I can't even say that I feel your pain because I've never had to... like be in your
you
shoes at this job,
right? Of course,
in that position.
And that's why I say just try for a different position, and you might get it.
Yeah. So.
Well, you're out of Academy Bay, I heard.
Yeah, I am. So I don't know if the people know who I am, but
you can choose to disclose where you work or where we all used to work, and
so
I would not advise
I'm not
for
gonna
it.
say where.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna say the name of the company.
But. I just don't want people to be confused. Like we all used to work together.
Yeah.
And then me and Brandon still work there.
We do.
And I was the supervisor of
for the training section,
like post training.
Yeah.
And then eventually I was moved, Brandon was moved.
Right.
Aaron, were you moved?
You
weren't.
No,
he
just left.
No, he was on my team during a time
they sent me
I kept graduating.
They sent me the exit interview twice, and I don't even want to dignify that company with the exit interview email. Like I saw it show up twice. I was like, I should tell them, but
just say no response, or I do not wish to respond. So they stopped sending it to you.
Oh yeah, they sent me twice.
You know what's hilarious is that a few months ago, back in September, one of the function leads was walking around, and she said, "I have Aaron's 1-year pin. Where is he?" And I was like, "Oh, he gone." I was like, "He's been gone."
Listen. there is such a delay in the processing
you should have taken
terminations.
That from
me. I get 1 year pins for people who've been gone for months.
Yeah, and that just made me laugh. I was like, oh, Aaron.
You want it?
I want my
Sorry,
pen.
it's been recycled.
It's gone.
Oh, you have my name on it or anything? Did you see it?
No, it's
just a little pin.
Yeah, it says like a one on it. But it doesn't say like your name.
Right. I just thought it was fun.
Oh, that's great.
It was really funny.
That's great. I think you're gonna say like my name tag, the little thing you put on the desk. I was like, where? I've got his. Where does he sit now?
Well, the card is personalized, but not the pin.
Yeah. Well, that's
so they can recycle the pin.
It was hilarious. That's hilarious.
Yeah, they probably.
Is Joe still persevering in HR?
Yeah, she is. I don't know if persevering is the word.
Right. She just has like a give
up.
She's great, like personally, but like at work she could be a hard ass.
Oh,
and like I respect that, but sometimes it's unnecessary or unprofessional. Like sometimes just being nasty to people who just don't know.
Right.
It's not nice. Like I mean, or maybe not nasty, but just sarcastic and I'm not with that.
You can tell based on her face, like.
She does not, and I fuck with that. I fuck with that because I'm the same way. I'm the same way. I wear my emotions on my face, and my tone can be.
True.
You are just perpetual resting bitch face at work.
Yeah.
Until we walked into the office, I'm still.
I'll own that shit.
I'm still.
I'm working on it.
Wait,
I didn't see it until.
Okay, so you've left Academy. So have you and Amanda? Is Amanda just sitting there in the office with someone else now?
The lady that I swapped with now sits in that office.
Oh, and I don't think Amanda's happy about it. I wouldn't expect her to be.
She honestly, like, she's very like fluid. Like she's kind of like me. You kind of go with the flow. Like she doesn't hate anybody.
Yeah.
And obviously sitting in an office with somebody, you build that relationship with them. So I don't think they hate each other.
Yeah.
And she's not the type of person that even if she dislikes something about somebody, she would like hate them and just kind of dismiss them.
Yeah.
Even if they sat in the office with her.
Right.
She's not like that.
Yeah.
So she's a sweetheart, but I would, but
I would feel so strange like sharing an office space with somebody like that close.
You get used to it.
I feel like you would, but
you do it with me.
At first,
you would share with
different.
me.
Yeah.
Well, look at the desk that I sit at now. It's literally like this much metal in between me and the person. So the office, we had way more space in the office.
Like you're forced to hold hands in the first example. You could hold hands in the second one.
Yeah,
basically.
Exactly.
All good.
Yeah. But I'm good. I'm good where I'm at now. Yeah. So back to your other
So you're just like basic like function leader, group supervisor?
No, group supervisor. Yeah.
She's still the big boss.
Yeah. So what happened was, new fiscal year, the GMs wanted to like the group managers, the
flip
people
the whole
above
fucking
me,
thing upside down.
Yeah, they pretty much wanted to make some changes. I'm sure the function lead complaints that I was getting. The function leads that reported to me were the only. No, not me. The function leads that reported to me were the only ones that got complaints the year prior. So I guess they didn't want to. They wanted to switch things up. They wanted to reassign the function leads, so that they didn't report to me anymore. Of course, they wouldn't admit that, but I know that was part of the reasoning. And then the other part of the reasoning was I've done Academy Bay for so long that that's it. I was stagnant. There was no growth for me. They wanted to switch things up.
Yeah.
They felt like the person that they replaced me with was the best fit because she had senior techs reporting to her, and senior techs need to, assist Academy Bay. So her having the scheduling over the senior techs just made most sense because she would need to staff them in Academy Bay. So, I mean, it is a bigger workload for her, I think. Yeah. And technically a smaller one for me because I went from like a team of 120 to 60 and half the size, not half the work because I still meet with each person at least once or twice a month, so that's still a lot of one-on-ones. Like I feel like my calendar now is busier than what it was in Academy Bay, and it's because I'm meeting with people and spending time with them now.
You don't have to delegate as much,
versus Academy Bay, I was more tasks, just task on task on task, and it was so much paperwork and admin stuff that I had no time to meet with the people, and that's really what I wanted to do.
Like do one-on-ones and help build up.
Yeah, do one-on-ones, build relationships, make sure they're good, take care of them, ask them, instead of emailing me, hey, I need a schedule change, being able to tell me in person.
One-on-one, yeah.
Yeah, so that was just what I wanted to focus on last year, especially with gaining the function leads and having them take over a lot of the tasks, but it was still so much that I still wasn't able to. But this fiscal year, I'm able to like meet with my people and build relationships and joke around.
And that's great because
yeah,
I've always appreciated that about you. Your communication was always on point.
I want to spend the time with the people.
Now that I've worked in many other scenarios with different people, the communication's not there.
And it's funny
I have no idea what's going on at all.
When he was on my team, because he spoke about an ex-Publix manager of his, and he was just like, yeah, that guy was like the best manager I ever had, and blah blah. And so I asked him, I was just like, well, I want to be the best manager. Like, what can I do to be better?
Right.
And he was just like, well, you need to interact more, blah blah. So I definitely agreed with it, and I have the opportunity to do it.
I think that was one of my long rants I had.
You had a lot of rants. You were the rant king.
I wouldn't call them rants. I wouldn't call them
You
rants.
wouldn't call what Aaron does rants?
Well, in the office, he didn't rant with me. Did you rant with me?
No, okay.
We
so
had
we're going to define it. We're going to clearly define this. And that Brandon has spent enough time walking around with me that they've been categorized as rants.
Okay, that makes sense.
There was a lot of walks.
Yeah. Okay. We walked every day together, like twice a day.
A lot of walks.
Yeah, like 30 minutes a day we spend chatting about anything under the sun.
Everything.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
It was
but like with you, I would hit
what
could be called rants, but are just like I decide to like take a deep dive as far as I can into understanding what you're looking for and what I know to try to enable and provide knowledge. So like that, some of the one-offs I had with you, the rants I had with you were just my attempt to provide value. He's seen it so much, he's seen it like flop. Where it's just like you're just talking out your ass at this point, trying, which is...
I didn't say that, but...
out loud.
But no, there were definitely times where you ranted where I was like, where is he going with this?
The only thing I would say Aaron did that was out of line was like threatening to like send out a mass email and like almost create a strike with the people that were doing phones, and I was just like, yeah, you don't want to. I was like, you don't want to do that. You're gonna make yourself look bad, and you're probably just gonna get fired. Like nobody's gonna take you seriously. So let's just meet with my manager. See if you can.
Was that half the reason you set me up with her?
It was like 25%, but the other.
I don't need him instigating a strike because he probably would.
The other 75%, I'm gonna be honest, was I wanted her to hear what he had to say because he was very articulate, and and the complaints that we were getting regarding the PCC and the burnout and all that stuff, like the phones, she needed to hear it. So that was the main reason why. That was the main reason why, and
I kind of wish I'd have gotten one with, although she wouldn't have had no experience with Joyce.
Yeah.
Just because, as much as Joyce didn't have influence, I think Joyce. Me and Joyce could have bumped heads discussing it, as opposed to with the other manager, there wasn't really bumping of heads.
No.
It was just, I'm listening, go on, here's like our take, here's like subtle information, and I'm like, here's direct information, and you're going to subtly inform me how right I am, and then she just like eye moves. I'm like, I'll take that as a yes.
Yeah.
So like
they're both very different, but they do complement each other.
That's where like after those meetings and sort of getting the impressions, it became very clear to me no one in that building had power over what we did day to day.
Only the guy who runs all five centralized
only Mr. Hunkalicious
sites
that we saw every day.
Right, so that was...
What'd you say? What'd you call him?
Is that what you referred to?
I was like, I was processing in my head, wait, what did you call him?
Hunkalicious.
Yeah.
First of all, I'd hit it, but but it's just kind of weird. Like, he's into Asian women. Like, his wife is Asian.
Dude, there's minor eye surgery.
Who is an Asian woman?
Me.
Oh, okay, well.
Wait.
Unless she got a fat ass, which doesn't really exist.
I'm trying to get
if I'm wrong, somebody please send me pictures. _Vanessa on Instagram.
I'm trying to get a good euphemism here. I'm trying to get a good euphemism. It's like there's not a good hot looking Hong Kongian you want to sit on their face or have them sit on your face like.
Yeah, there's a few at my job. Is that what you're talking about?
No, we were just talking. We were talking about Asian women.
I'm saying the Asian women thing. It's like, what?
I'm into thick women. And
there isn't a good bowl of ramen you want to have. You want to like.
No, unless there's like a mixed one that like she's like half Spanish or half like black or something. She got like a nice.
She's a fortune cookie with salsa.
Ew.
This just got so strange.
You're supposed to make it sound like appetizing.
I'm just going with the most obvious thing.
Wow.
What do you want? Like,
You never know with him.
You never
Beer and
know.
milk.
How about a fortune cookie filled with
Salsa,
chocolate?
fortune
How about that?
cookies.
Oh,
Yeah.
fortune cookie, but it's made out of...
Or a chocolate covered
a
fortune
churro.
cookie.
It's a churro cookie. It's a churro Chinese cookie.
Yum.
Yeah.
Yummy.
Yeah.
I thought you were referring to a few women at my
No,
job.
I'm still doing the Hispanic cross with the Chinese.
Let me tell you something.
There's a few.
He would always find the women. He knew the women.
You want to break that down
All right.
for those not playing the home game here, bud?
Let's play a game. Describe them and see if I can guess who it is without saying their name.
Oh, this is gonna be embarrassing, isn't it? Hello, I'm dedicated to my girlfriend before we start this.
No, I was saying Brandon.
Yep, alrighty.
We can do this without throwing you
wanna
under the bus.
explain the game to him a little bit more. I think he's missing.
Yeah, I
So-
completely lost. Like
The
most of
women
my
that
life.
you claimed he found, who are they? But try to describe them to me.
without using
using their name.
Without using their names. Okay.
If you
To
even
see
know
if
their
I can
names.
guess. To see
I
if
probably
I can
don't
guess.
even know their names.
Yeah, you
to
Or
be
just
fair.
describe them in general.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just curious. I mean, I know of one redhead,
I was literally gonna say long red hair.
long red hair. She cut it recently, actually.
How short?
Very pretty.
No, like mine, probably a little.
Okay.
Yeah, like mine.
Gosh, why
but
do I
my
care?
hair's getting long.
The kind of woman that you could take home to mom, but also likes to be fucked hard.
Wow.
That's the one Aaron found.
Me?
I'm just kidding.
No, I'm just kidding.
Just kidding.
I'm devastated
yeah.
right now. I'm just kidding. Like you said, that was like
Let's change the subject
that is
before
such-
yeah, I know,
Aaron
I'm
gets
just
murdered
kidding. I'm
tonight
just
in his
kidding.
sleep.
that was such a hard
I know
read.
it was.
That's,
I just had to throw that.
I'm just
in
sitting there
there.
like-
Just kidding.
But that's so many women at my job,
Yeah,
though.
you're right.
Like,
You're right.
You're not wrong.
like who
like
doesn't? Who doesn't? Unless you're like an old lady.
Well,
Bill
running
Burr
through-
actually had a sketch about that recently. In
Who?
His latest stand-up.
Who?
Bill Burr.
Oh,
Who?
Bill Burr.
Bill Burr?
Oh, Bill Burr.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm running through like my list. It was like that could apply to that person. That could apply to
Oh
that
my
person.
gosh, Aaron. He's running through his head.
Well, you're kind of sitting there just like, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that would definitely make sense. That one's a surprise, and also just like, but it could make sense. It's kind of one of those. It's like, well, you need to ask the right question. Of like, what woman doesn't want to be fucked hard?
I mean,
And
that's literally the phase of my life that I'm in right now. Like, that's all I want. I don't give a shit I don't care if you ain't shit nigga. I don't care if you got 3 baby moms. Like,
Ow, my
Was
I
not
just-
expecting that. That's hilarious.
I just want one thing
Oh,
these
Vanessa,
days.
go hard.
There
I
you
just
go.
want one thing these days, and you know, once
it
I come
rhymes
out,
with, it rhymes with Rick.
yeah. But I mean, it is what it is. I just divorced in January, February.
Right.
You know, I'm
You're
sure
almost at a year.
I'm sure I've developed some self-destructive behaviors
But to
due
be
to
honest,
this
I think
trauma.
you have bounced back in such an incredible way. That,
so?
No, I really do. I'm not just saying that. I think
I
you
really
have
appreciate
because
that.
I've seen people who have been in similar situations to you that have not only lost their jobs and their dignity and everything, like they can't function. And that wasn't you.
Yeah.
You're like, you know what? Screw him. I'm gonna do me, and I'm gonna come out
Sorry,
ahead.
guys.
I'm gonna come out on top.
I'm gonna be
Trying to
honest,
fix
like
things.
you know, deep inside, there's obviously things that I still need to get over and process,
course.
but
Yeah.
I don't let it hold me back or bring me down to the point where I can't enjoy my life. Even though I may be sad, I still wanna be happy about something. And even
Yeah,
though
of
this
course.
relationship
Well,
is probably something that initially I couldn't really take seriously, it was still
Right.
a highlight of my day. Or there were moments where, you know, he was making me happy or smile or fucking the shit out of me. So, you know, it was, even if it's something that's temporarily satisfying, I'ma just ride that wave and
Right.
see what happens. It could turn into something more serious. I mean, we do tell each other that we love each other. A lot has happened since
Yeah,
you
since
left.
Ross. Are you still with the Ross
A lot-
security guard, homeboy?
Yeah, I am. And so a lot has happened, but so far we've been good, with the exception of last night. I kind of got upset about something, but whatever, I'll get over it.
Peanuts. Speak of which,
Yeah, no, I'm good, unless they're covered in chocolate.
negative.
So,
Chocolate covered peanuts are way underrated.
but we're doing good. Like, I would call what we have now a committed, really serious
Awesome.
relationship.
Nice.
That's good.
So
Bless.
he has done a 180, and I've made some adjustments.
He needed to do a 180.
Thank you.
So, and
I love how Brandon, like, he's just in my fucking corner, and I
am. I'm
that.
always in your
God,
corner because there's some people
I'm not gonna
that.
cry. I'm just kidding. I don't cry.
Aaron's like, go
God,
ahead.
I don't give a shit.
No, there's some people
Yes,
that you want to root for because you want them to win, and you're one of those
they're
people,
genuinely
right?
good
Because
people.
you're genuinely a good
I feel
person,
like I
and
am.
that's
Yeah.
and bad things happen in life, but it's how you react to them, and I think you've reacted really well given
Thank you.
what has happened. So
Yeah.
Thank
No,
you.
I think that was like talking about like you having a generally like positive mindset post divorce is that you had like some bad days at work, whether it was work related or just mindset, but like it was always a lot of fun for us to just like skip work and just chill out with you.
In the office, and I'm telling you, like, that to me is just, it needs to be done. Like, any manager who doesn't do it, not even for the sake of
avoiding work or some bullshit like
not
that.
even for the sake of doing a good job or being considered a good manager. Like, it's just that connection. It's just a human thing.
Yeah,
like,
it is.
I spend 40 plus hours a week with you guys. Like, we need to have a good relationship, or we need to at least have a few fucking laughs.
Right.
Because I can't
Well, it
be
seemed like
100%
there were several
work or serious.
Yeah, you had function leads that still came back to you basically, like post like moving around in the building.
Yeah, because they love me.
Yeah,
they love me and I love them, and there's a mutual, respect there. Because at the end of the day, we may not be 100% at our jobs, but as humans, we love each other, and we respected each other, and they liked the fact that I was real and that I took care of them. The difference between me and other managers, I feel, at that job is I don't look for a reason to say no. I look for a reason to say yes.
Right.
If there's no reason for me to deny a request, or because I honestly have zero authority there. The only thing I was able to do was like approve time off for them, or change their schedule or whatever, help them through a situation because they had a rotating schedule. So, I did what I could to take care of them, and I think they saw that. But, a lot of it was, my manager did accuse me of like being too friendly, and I would agree.
Wow.
I would agree with that to a certain extent, but I feel like she felt like my friendliness or over friendliness was to their demise. But I felt like it was there, and it allowed me to correct them without them being offended. Yeah. Like, there was times where they were spending too much time in the office, and I was just like, all right, guys, I got shit to do. Like, get back to work. And they wouldn't be offended by me saying that.
Yeah.
Right.
So I feel like our friendliness came in fucking handy.
It's sort of how well you design the friendships. Like, that's where you could do that. And then some of my older managers, or at least the two really good ones that I have in my history, John and Gabe, was that you could sit there and like bullshit with them for a bit, but then they'd make the call, and like they would almost also be answering like what's in the back of your mind. I was like, I should probably get back to work. And then when they say it, you're like, it's affirmation of like what you already know, and like you appreciate someone's actually being the adult, even though you know it should be you. It's like, all right, I'll get back to work there, and it's a respect based thing. That's where I don't think anyone you don't fuck with are people that are just abhorrently lazy about their job.
Right.
100%. Like, if I can't, like, because I'm the type of person that if you put the personal characteristics aside, but while I'm at work, if I see that you're doing your best and you're, I can have some sort of professional respect for you, then I will, regardless of the fact that I may not like you personally or whatever. But
it was tough for me to let go when I was moved, because oftentimes I still found myself reaching out to you more than anybody else, and
because I got shit done.
You did,
to be honest, and I didn't say
even recently, I would find myself composing an email to you or on my way to your desk, and I'd have to stop myself. No. I was like, she hasn't enough on her plate. She has her own team.
Brandon,
I was like, I need to not.
How dare you?
I need to actually start reaching out to people. How dare you deny me
that communication? Like, I really look forward to like helping you.
So I had to let go in a way, but
and looking better than my peers.
So much of a There's
Thank
such
you.
a disconnect between just how it works there, between that way how you do things and how other people do. Because like I said, I don't even know what's going on in the building anymore. I was like, I have no clue because I don't get any emails anymore.
Honestly, I hear stories of my people going to other group supervisors or function leads or whatever, and that for simple things like an email or whatever, to like workforce, like, hey, I need a flex. And then another supervisor telling them, no, you can't request it now, it's too late, whatever. And I'm just like, okay, I explained the process. I explained that, yeah, it's a 4-hour turnaround. And even if they were to get the request now, it may be too late for you to be able to drive in and actually get there on time.
Right.
But at least I explained it to them. And at least I still ask, even though, because I still take the chance. And I let them know, like, listen, if I request it right now, I may not hear back within the next 4 hours, but I'll still ask anyways. Like, if somebody does see it in 5 minutes, like, I would take that chance for you. And that's the difference between me and other supervisors. Like, it's just a fucking email. Just send it.
Right.
Why are you going to say no for?
Right.
It doesn't make any sense to me. Any sense to me at all. Especially because that's their job.
Right.
It's literally our job to support the people. It's not my job to do tasks. It's to make sure that you guys are taken care of. So, I
you've
mean,
grasped
back
the
to basics.
Yeah, you probably. Actually, I had an idea.
Aaron, don't you miss it? Don't you miss this?
No, he misses me.
Don't
No,
you miss being with us every day?
Okay. Peak so hard.
Sorry,
I miss you guys. I miss a lot of like the really good people there. Louisa, Bree, Claudia, Jess. I think the trio, Raven and them, have all left or something like that. Like they just like exited like right after me, basically.
Everybody was moved around, or you know,
a lot of
changed schedules.
Yeah.
Or it's just a lot of movements and changes and shit. So
but you've nailed the leadership mindset down. Like I could show you one of my mentors, all of his videos, and you'd like just be like you'd just be vindicated instead
and
of
leading
like,
by example, and you know, like all the good shit.
You do a really good job at subtly tooting your own horn, man. Might as well be giving you a pickle in terms of how small you're being, but it's really
to be honest, that's why I don't need a pat on the back, because I know I'm doing a good job, because my people are happy and they're taken care of.
Your people that leave you come back to you, or they're just sort of letting you know it's like, hey, it's dark out here, like.
Or before they leave my team, they're like, please, no, I don't want to leave your team. You know, can I pick you as my, you know, tell your boss to leave me on your team. And that, honestly, that's my reward. Seeing you guys, like, it may not be like the start of a career for everybody, and you know, I can't sit there and say, well, my reward is seeing everybody grow, and because the reality is that you can only grow so much in that building. But my reward is just you know, not even hearing the thank yous, just getting those approvals or going out of my way to do whatever I can, because that's just my, you know, my purpose while I'm there.
She's very giving. She likes being very giving.
I am very giving.
So what is
like,
your
even
goal beyond that?
I'm very curious.
My goal?
Yes.
How does this translate for her? Like we can run into a whole other topic right now. At least real quick. How maternal then do you think she's going to be when she gets to kids? Like if you plan on
No, not to be honest. That's why.
I think she'll be.
That's why I was so excited. Like before we went live or whatever, I was
thinking that she was pregnant.
I was hoping because I think you'd be such a phenomenal mother.
You know why? Because my mother is the best example of
a good mom.
Amazing. Like, she is super humble.
Yeah.
She's super giving. She's you know, she truly understands like God's unconditional love and unlimited forgiveness. True. And these are things that the world doesn't understand, because they're so hard to do, because we're burned constantly. But at the end of the day, I'm just like, damn, like God forgives me no matter how many times I sin. So I have to kind of do my best to forgive people.
So I feel,
you know, but at the same time, balancing logic and history and all this, you know, not being a complete fucking idiot, but it's just my mom was such a good example, and I want to like carry that torch, and at the same time, I'm super giving. Like, even if it's my last $5 and I see a bum, I'm like, here you go. Get you something to eat. God bless you. You know, so that they know it's coming from the Lord.
You know, I got rid of that massive fucking beard. Like, I actually went, so I did like a quick photo shoot with a friend, like with like my camera and like a phone or whatever, like, and I found them like in my G drive, just going through because I need to like make space, and like I still have them. But I looked at like my face with that massive fucking beard. I was like, I don't even recognize it. Like,
listen,
you look so different.
You know what I love the most? That his profile pic for YouTube or for the podcast was the picture that I fucking took in the office.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't even realize that.
Look, Aaron shaved his beard. He comes into work, and I'm spiffy as fuck.
Oh yeah.
Spiffy as
yes,
fuck.
I know.
Mind you,
I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about.
We weren't used to seeing Aaron all like, you know,
Woo!
dressed up. He had his belt on, like he was
Those
looking.
Nikes.
Listen, Papi Chulo at the house. So I was just like, yo, we got to do a photo shoot right now.
Right.
So I pulled my phone out. I take these
so
epic
funny.
fucking photos that he uses but doesn't give me photo credit for, and
I did. I edited it.
Yeah.
I fixed it.
and yeah, so that's the story of that.
Hilarious.
Yeah, but no, those pictures came out really nice.
They did. They did. Even the silly one.
The one with you holding the door and sticking your ass out like a slut.
Takes one to know one.
Ew.
Stop.
In the words of Cardi B.
I was about to say, I was like,
God,
is that Cardi?
God, I hate her.
Is that Cardi?
Listen, I've been stuck on her song Money lately. Oh man, that shit gets me so pumped up.
Me and
Do
Melanie.
you want to hear the chorus?
No, but go on.
It goes, I was born to flex, diamonds on my neck. I
That's-
like boarding jets, I like morning sex, but nothing in this world that I like more than nothing in this world that I like more than checks. Money. All I really want to see is the money. I don't really need the D, I need the money. All a bad bitch need is the money. I got bands in a coupe. Busting up the... Okay, I'm done.
That was fantastic.
You gotta love her after that. Come on.
I've never
I
heard that
imagine,
song, but
Come
I feel like I was there.
I imagine
You
is
feel
what
like I
the-
was Cardi?
I feel
it's
like
what the
you
kids
channeled
call-
her.
I feel like it's what the kids call straight fire. But
No, straight
True.
fire. Fire.
Okay, boomer.
Okay, boomer.
Yeah, anyways, change the subject.
No, we can stick on the Cardi B thing,
Since
at least
you
for a
hate
quick
Cardi.
sec. No,
Wait,
I'm gonna
what?
run on why I hate it
I
because
missed that one. Sorry.
No, I was telling him to change the subject since he hates Cardi.
no, I'm gonna run on why I hate Cardi. On
Okay,
account
go
of,
ahead.
Like, we saw, like, me and Melanie watched like 1 or 2 episodes of like this Netflix show where it's like they're finding
Rhythm
like
and flow. Yeah.
where they get like these local rappers or
Am
whatnot.
I just like 500 years old that I just don't
Yes, boomer.
Get with it, bro. Get with it.
Yeah.
know the song, don't know the show?
And so like the show is pretty compelling because it's like it's a talent show. It's hip hop, which I can appreciate. Being like a decent hip hop nerd, like nothing like too deep.
Like people that write their own
But
shit.
like so for the regular judge panel, they brought in like Snoop for the first episode as like a special guest. But it has Chance the Rapper, so some good.
Dizzle.
Yeah, it has T.I., so like a touch of like not really old school, but like 08 or something like wait,
Yeah.
he peaked like back in
Plus,
like
he's
2000.
like the South, represents the South
He's like
too.
4
so.
foot.
Yeah, and Chano's like from the Backpack Crew with Kanye up in Chicago.
Super short.
But then it has
Oh, I love Kanye.
yeah, but then so it has Chance the Rapper and
I like Chance
T.I.
as
as the two, and then they have Cardi B there as the third main judge, and she does nothing but focus on like business and like money. But there's a certain way people talk where they have nothing of value to add.
Ooh.
And that's her to
that's
you.
90%. Like me and
That's her
Tough
to you.
take on the
Gosh.
Jailhouse Parlor podcast.
This is the pseudo podcast, you shit brain. But
I thought you told me it was called Jailhouse.
Jailhouse is my one-on-ones. Like me and you will do a Jailhouse probably real soon.
Got you.
Pseudo
I didn't know
podcast.
that.
The pseudo productions company is where I just do whatever I want.
He doesn't, give me the info before.
You live on a rock and under a rock at the same time.
Oh, that's very
Ever
true,
since
though.
he moved
That's
to
very-
Claremont, like
Oh, he
Let
left
me
the
tell you
country.
something. Let me tell you
Like
something.
you had
about
to get a
Claremont.
he
passport out
left
to
the
come here,
decade
didn't
and
you?
went back.
Let
to,
me tell you something about Claremont. I love living out there.
I
There's
bet you
nothing
do.
going on.
They got the
Everybody's
winery
so
out
friendly.
there.
There's a winery out there.
Let's go.
Okay.
I go there
So
all the time.
recently,
You guys are peaking so hard.
I have.
Well, because my mom lives out
No,
there.
you're
I'm
gonna-
out there all
that's
the
fine.
time.
Okay.
Like fist distance is probably pretty good. But like, when
So am I
if
too
you're gonna
close
peek,
to
if you're
it?
gonna yell like a motherfucker, get
Then
away from the. No,
do it, okay.
move your face.
Ah! No, but I have declared war on this vole that moved into my yard,
A what?
A vole.
God, you are such a
vole?
boomer.
It's
What's a
like
vole?
it's like a gopher and a mole.
Yeah, like a gopher and a mole fucked.
So why is it
And
called a goal?
It's called a vole with a V.
Yeah.
And then what happened was, it started digging holes in my beautiful lawn.
Oh.
So I didn't want to kill it.
Yeah,
So
you
a
do.
friend of mine said, "Just go out with your shotgun and take care of it." And I was like, "I'm
and
not
destroy
gonna...
your lawn even.
And I was
your,
like,
your
I-
lawn
Nah,
even
nah.
I was
more
like, I'll
than the
destroy
vole
my
did?
lawn, and I was like, I don't want to get
You
the
can
You have a
cops called.
shotgun?
You can get a trap. Like, I could steal you a trap.
I cannot
from
confirm nor deny that I have a
Yes,
shotgun.
you can. This is fucking Florida. Yes, you can.
No, like,
This is America. I
I
don't
could
have to
steal you a
answer
trap
questions.
from work or something like that. Like,
So what happened was, I bought this
Actually, trap's probably like
Sonic
$20.
thing that annoys it so it leaves. So
What?
then it moved to my
you mean
neighbor's.
Cardi B?
I just play Cardi B on repeat from my iPhone into my lawn.
Like, fuck that shit, I'm out.
And then it leaves. So it actually went to my neighbor's
That'll
yard, so it
actually
started digging up holes in my neighbor's lawn.
Oh.
But anyway, it's been quite the...
Yeah, and then
What a
he got the
disaster.
shotgun out and killed it.
Let me tell you, living in Claremont's like going to another world.
Yeah.
Lake County is not like Orlando.
It's a little bit country, but
It's-
Claremont
it
is more
is.
of this more city than the other parts of Lake County.
Sure.
Like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
not.
like, a little bit. Yeah, right.
It's-
yeah.
It's
It's-
not
it
as
has-
country as other.
It is
trust
the
me.
it is the tickling
One of my
Yeah.
neighbors, he has a giant Trump flag flying in his front lawn.
Wait, describe this flag.
It says "Keep America Great 2020" and then Trump.
Okay,
Across
the letters or is it his face?
No, TRUMP,
Okay,
the
gotcha.
letters.
Oh, man.
And,
I hope it
And
has-
I saw him putting it up, and I was like, "Oh, a
That's-
big Trump fan." And then, but in the next 45 minutes, he was just talking, and I was like, "Oh man."
Yeah, some of
Yeah.
my family members.
You don't even
wanted
let
me
me
to
talk
vote
to you
for
that
him.
long. Like,
I was like, "Look, you're a cool dude, but I kind of have to go back home." But yeah, Claremont's interesting. I like it.
well, Claremont, because of how it is out there, that's where I think I told you me and Melanie went out there for like an archery date, basically.
Oh yes.
Yeah, that
you
was
did.
fantastic.
We're in like Mount Dora or something.
You
No,
said
no,
you
in
wanted to set
Claremont.
up
Oh,
like
in
a
Claremont.
archery
Oh,
range in my backyard, right?
Yeah,
That
basically.
would have been perfect.
Dude, so I went up to my dad's. He's
By
got like
dry.
no, like we want to get like a $200 Genesis bow. Just like a
Oh,
basic,
goodness.
like it's a basic bow. It's not like you could hunt with it, but I imagine, but it's probably not ideal.
That's pretty badass.
But yeah, no, we got like
I love a
formal.
bow
We got our
of my own.
we got formal lessons at this. Like it's sort of a is an obvious attraction thing because it does like ATV stuff and skeet shooting and archery.
Right.
So it has its own haberdashery of activities. But like we got what I would say
Great
like
word,
we
right?
got
Haberdashery.
it's a good word. It's a good word.
I just learned it.
Welcome to
Really?
America.
Thank you, Aaron.
Did your teacher tell you like?
No, he gave us
rote
like
How do you spell
nose?
he under HABBERDISHERY.
Don't go on Google. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Dude, if I
did he
nailed
do
that-
rope
if
to
I-
nose when he was telling
No,
you
no,
how
no.
to shoot
Well,
bows?
I wouldn't say so. It's more of you want to actually like because he gave actual formal lessons. It's the first set of formal lessons I ever got. Everything else has been like camps or like Boy Scouts, which like Boy Scouts I imagine could teach you right. Just you're not receptive when you're
You
that
were in the
young.
Boy Scouts?
Yeah, I was in Boy Scouts till like late high school, and my troop fucked me.
I'm jealous.
How
Like
did
I
they
was
fuck you?
told by
What?
I was told by several Eagle Scouts that I was basically an unofficial Eagle in their eyes.
Oh, okay. I don't know. My mind went somewhere else. I thought he was.
Yo, fuck that guy.
Our Scoutmaster was sort of not that good at being efficient and getting people to Eagle. So like, so. Well,
Were
it
you
kind
in
of
the Girl Scouts?
No.
no,
Oh, okay.
but so
was
like
like,
let's
dang.
finish off one thing. So the archer thing, we got a formal lesson,
Okay.
and basically after 2 shots, I could hit anything I want on the target, and the target's only like 20 feet or like 10 yards away, so it's not that big of a deal.
Right.
But it's all about just repetition, having like set form. So like I would just be anchoring like on my cheekbone,
Right.
and you have your arm bent, so I could hit anything I wanted. Like
Right.
like I just started taking out the logo in the bottom left corner, and the owner swapped out with the actual teacher for something so the guy could go fix something real quick. And the owner was like, "You need to adjust yourself a little bit." And I kind of tried to communicate to him, but it didn't hit. And I was like, I meant to hit there. Like I got bored at hitting the regular bullseye. And I started taking out the logo for kicks. Like, so when I went up to my dad's like a few weekends ago, I just kind of wish I had the bow slung over, like some arrows just in my pockets, and just sit there like on the footsteps of like my dad's shop, just see like 1 of 5 targets, like pick one, and then just take a shot and then just keep going about like.
Your dad's place would be perfect for that.
It is.
He's out in
It
the
is
middle
perfect.
of nowhere.
It is perfect.
So
He has
there's
5
all
acres, and half of it is only cleared. Half of it is not cleared yet.
I need to make the drive out.
Have I showed you those pictures yet?
You showed me a picture of his
I showed you. There's several pictures.
The deck he built.
Yeah,
like,
the
out
deck.
there.
Listen,
Like-
it's cold out now.
Dude, up
Perfect,
there.
So you
right?
need to like
Dude,
set
let's
up
do a
like
bonfire,
this big
right?
ass bonfire.
Oh, I've got the wood.
That's what I'm saying.
I've got the wood.
Let's do this.
Hear that, Vanessa? This guy's...
That's my idea. You're supposed to high five.
Yeah, like
me.
it's 64 now in Old Town where he's at. Like that's how cold. That's how cold it is. Like on his side of the world.
Isn't it like
I love how we
64
think
here,
64
though?
is cold.
Well, it's 68 right now.
I'm from New Jersey and they're in the 30s right
Shut the
now.
fuck up. This is Florida.
I know.
Like part of my
I'm used
family's
to
from
this
Rhode
weather.
Island,
It's definitely
so
cold
when
in
it
the
drops
60s.
to like, that's real
when
cold.
it's 50
yeah.
something in the morning, I'm just like, fuck this shit.
But he's like in the middle of nowhere. Like the town that he lives there, Old Town, basically. That's actually where he's like living now. Effectively, he just comes to work here like Monday through Thursday afternoon in Orlando. But like, that town has one gas station, one grocery store, and one hardware store.
I was in this
like when my
place
mom
in
lives.
Utah. It was called Francis, and it had one stoplight, and it got kind of what you were describing.
Yeah.
And that's where we stayed for a couple of weeks. But there were deer in the backyard, like running through.
Yeah.
It's extraordinary. It wasn't like it was like being in another world.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Oh yeah.
And everybody was so friendly.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
insanely friendly. Like
I don't know about.
Like fake friendly.
Everyone
like
at my
they
dad's
really
bar
wanted
is
to murder
friendly.
you and like bury you in their basement.
I hope not, but they just seem
I just
really
think the
nice.
worst. I swear, like this last year, like this divorce has transformed me. Like
Okay.
It usually
Deep
does.
inside,
It usually does.
it really just makes me. Because before I was just like, no,
We had a-
everybody's
well,
great, and
Was your
Did it make you more cynical?
it
Is
makes
that what
me.
you're
It
saying?
made me more like.
Sorry, I have to
I don't know what the word is.
Can you
Maybe
pee?
Aaron
Yeah.
can help me,
I'll be back.
but
Let's make a little clearance. Or you don't trip on nothing.
it made me just question.
Slide through.
Yeah,
There.
more cynical. Yeah.
I
Because
feel like I
well, did
question
you-
in general I was
or I just I think the worst.
You're a
or
Republican,
I,
like-
Hey!
apparently not. He didn't want to vote for Trump.
This is America.
Yeah, but
Well,
like
was there like an element of, was there a distinct element of betrayal in the divorce, like what led to it, or was it just like over time? I can't remember.
yeah, the distinct element of betrayal was him forming a friendship, inappropriate friendship, and
Okay.
relationship with a woman, lying to me, telling me that
Yeah.
there was no other woman.
Yeah,
And
that'll
then,
do it.
Yeah,
That'll do it.
and then 2 days after he told me that the reason for the divorce was because he wasn't himself and he had to kind of find himself, and until he did that, he couldn't be a good husband to me, and he just wanted to kind of like set me free. I begged for a separation versus a divorce because I was just like wanting to be that supportive wife that I felt like I needed to be for him. I didn't want him to make a mistake by going so drastic with and moving straight to divorce so quickly. So long story short, 2 days after I signed the divorce papers, I found out that it was another woman. So
Yeah.
I was glad. I was actually kind of glad to hear that a former coworker of mine, a mutual coworker of ours at the time, actually sort of
moved on from a similar situation in a way.
Yeah.
Just because I could tell it was sort of over-occupying her attention and her energy, and I was like, you need to walk away from that.
Yeah, definitely.
So.
It's draining.
Yeah.
It's draining.
Yeah, no, betrayal hits you hard though.
Yeah, 100%.
Like that.
100%. And that's what I was trying to say before. It makes me think of the worst in people. Like before, I was just like,
This is why I have
no,
trust
give
issues.
them the benefit of the doubt. You
No,
know,
right.
think the best. But now I'm just like, no, think the worst, expect the worst, prepare for the worst.
After
it's just totally
after
different.
traumatic events, you expect that again. So like after like my stepdad, I've just been suspicious of everyone's motives, like until I'm thoroughly convinced, which takes a while.
100%.
And then like, and for years, it's kind of the same story.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's how I treat my current man. I'm, like you said, suspicious of everybody's intentions.
I say trust then verify,
Until
though.
no, I feel like before I was trusting, at first.
Yeah.
Now they need to build trust with me. It's like the total opposite.
Like,
oh yeah, well,
if
you betray trust, I feel like you have to earn it back.
No,
yeah.
You're right.
We're running from an era. This side of the table has been traumatized by betrayal, effectively.
Oh yeah.
Not to get overly dramatic on people trying to like, you know, not like just. I've been traumatized. Like my teacher looked at me in the eyes. Like
we're just acknowledging that there's
like
of course.
Like she had a divorce, which is a huge traumatic event.
I was affected.
I had my stepdad's situation, which is its own giant, long, like both of them in their own different ways, were long form traumatic events. So like, we understand how to have base trust levels with people on the front, to where we're not like ridiculously unsociable because of our trust issues.
Right.
But there are deep parts of us that were violated and betrayed. So if you want to get to those, either we, at least for like me, I give them out freely as tests because they don't bother me and you can't hurt me with the information that I overshare. And then, but the probably more normal thing is that people will take a long time before they give that to friends or partners.
Right.
Like that's, like, you know, okay, so Melanie basically like highlighted this over and over. I was like, Aaron, you say too much shit. Like, you say crazy shit. Like, you make Brandon worried. But, like, the shock value things that I would say, is half and half, a test and also, like, entertainment seeking.
Right.
Because it's like, all right, let me test the limits of this person. Because if you're going to properly incorporate me in your life as seriously as, like, you are sort of intonating, or whatever word I can pick there, you need to handle the shocking parts of my life because they're sort of a part of me. And like, you know, so that's where like I have a very theatrical, eccentric, dumb way of doing it by most people's standards, but it sort of comes along.
But that's his charm though, and that's what a lot of people love about you.
Yeah. But
does anyone explicitly miss me at work outside of you two?
I think so. Yes.
Oh, I bet.
Well,
I got into my stride near the end there.
There was that one black girl that would ask about you so often. I don't know her name though.
JD?
No.
I didn't think so.
I'm so sorry. That's not what I meant. That's not.
I wanted to bring her up earlier. But I was like, we'll save the shit talking for later.
I don't even want to touch that. I do not want that karma. I do not
no
want those
karma.
traumas.
No negative
I do
karma
not want that
here.
drama
This is
at work.
Okay,
this is all love and
God.
vibes. She, I think maybe her name was Raven, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, Raven Smith. Yeah, she was there with the trio of girls. Raven.
Okay,
I cannot remember the other two.
She was a big
She
fan
has
of
like
you.
dreads.
Yes.
Yeah.
She was a big fan
She's
of you.
Sweet.
Yeah.
The girl who does the cakes.
Yeah. Raven Cakes.
There's another gentleman. I won't use his name, but he asked me. He's like, where's the guy that used to sit over here? Where did he go?
Was it the gentleman that sat directly behind me, the older gentleman?
He was probably just being nosy because a lot of those people would ask me like, "Where's everybody?" Because they would think they would think that I was like firing everybody, not realizing that half of y'all left.
Where is he? I was like, who are you talking about? He was like, the handsome one, and I was like, oh.
Yo, I remember when Aaron first cut his beard. Remember, I walked down the fucking aisle and I was just like,
oh, that was a good day.
You look good. And I think it was Cheryl. She was just like, can you at least try to be professional? It's like, you are the manager.
Cheryl?
Yo, I was just like,
love Cheryl.
Damn, Aaron, you look good, Poppy. How you doing?
Yeah.
Oh,
this guy was.
I'm so happy for
Billy?
you.
Not Billy.
I don't even.
African American gentleman.
Oh, with the little goatee?
You know.
Yeah. Suavemente kind of acting.
Wait.
Oh, okay. So this gentleman. I think he might
Give
actually.
me the last name.
I don't even have first name.
No name.
He was up. Okay, so whenever you walked up with us, you would see first row right there where it'd be like Sandra, or Cheryl, Sandra, yada yada. But he would be right there. He was a taller, lankier black guy who dressed really well and tried to act really suave. And
he does he still work there?
Yeah, he complimented Aaron actually a few times while he was still working there. Yeah,
like he didn't believe me that like I told him what I used for like beard care, but like beards always comes down to genetics. He's very well. He likes to talk. Taller, lankier, black guy.
What? And he would be dressed like button up and slacks every day.
Yeah.
I don't know who the hell
Yeah, well dressed. He was upstairs, like right across from me most of the time when I was doing calls there.
Was he also on calls?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still is.
Yeah. He was there in that corner, the Jess corner right there.
I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He's young. He's
way young. He's
our
way
age,
young.
Was he the one that was talking to Raven?
He could have tried. He could have tried. Not have laughed hard in his face, man.
Raven was.
She was with it. What you mean?
She was. And
she was with him or what?
I think so. Yeah.
Nah, I think she just
she's into you too. I thought.
Some dog treats.
Into who?
Me.
Oh, let me say me. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's fucking weird.
There's probably some people.
Like I had her.
There's a lot of people who are into you.
I'm not. And her?
Yes.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
What?
I had to adjust
They're
focus.
not into me. They're just into that ass. They're just into that ass.
Give me a break.
For those of you who can't see what's on this, sitting on this chair right now,
That's why I had the whole table.
It's the reason why you look at me and you
have
know
a really
I'm Puerto
pretty
Rican.
face though, and everybody looks.
Oh, you're sweet. Thank you.
Believe it or not, there's metal brackets on that chair in case I get certain guests.
So I picked the right chair then.
No, that's why I told you to sit there.
Thank you for setting me up for
success.
You guys are unbelievable.
For not falling and breaking a fucking chair on live
television.
On live whatever, internet.
Internet, yeah.
Yeah,
good
that's
stuff,
why I fuck
stuff.
with you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm not skinny.
See, I thought Raven had gone with the rest of the trio. I cannot remember.
I haven't seen her in about a month, so she might have.
Yeah, to Sonya, and then I cannot remember Shay.
Yeah,
those three.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I just recently saw her Facebook profile picture and
she had a baby.
She's had 2 kids for a while. She had 2 kids. She's had 2 kids.
No, I was gonna say it
Everybody's
looks pretty. You know.
Yeah.
It looks totally different than how she looks at work.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. It's very slutty.
If I had a Facebook, I feel like I would look very different than the way I look at work.
Yeah, no. Look at my profile, my background pic on Facebook. Oh, you don't have.
I don't have a Facebook.
Yeah, he does.
I don't trust
it's
these
me
things.
in a skirt.
Don't. Did you watch the Edward Snowden Joe Rogan episode?
So much to say about that, but yes, I did.
No. I think we'll save that for like when you and I have a JHP episode. Like, let me know when you can come back out here and we'll just sit down.
Yeah, I'll start spitting my conspiracies. Vanessa will be like, this guy's a fucking weirdo.
No, trust me. It takes a lot for me to get weirded out.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah.
That's good to know. It makes me feel a little bit
I attended New Jersey
myself.
public school system.
Yeah, she did that. She fucked
Come on,
with
I used to date a rocker. Yeah,
What does that mean?
What, does he take crack rocks casually?
No. Like, okay, when I was in high school, we referred to rockers as the people who would dress like goth.
Metalheads. Like
yeah,
metalheads.
and like they were like the big
Really?
baggy fucking pants.
I wouldn't think you'd be into
we were
something
the odd
like
couple. I swear to God, like I was like the
like
baggy Tommy Hilfiger coat and Timbs, and he was his spikes and fucking black eyeliner.
I think you need to remember, she fucks with dick. Like,
stop it.
That nigga turned me.
Kind of
Listen, that nigga turned me out. Okay, like he was. I had lost my virginity like a year before that, but it was like such a traumatic experience. Like I didn't have sex for like a year and a half after that. And then,
my God.
And then when he became my boyfriend, he was extremely charming, by the way. Like, and I'm not the type of person to judge by the looks, and like I could see past all the weird shit he was wearing.
We really appreciate that.
And yeah, he ended up being like
sweetheart.
Well, no, actually he was a dick for what he ended up doing to me. But anyways, we would have like really good sex, and yeah.
Solid.
So that's
Did you listen to his music too? Did he take you to the rock show?
No, I did start. Well, he wasn't into like heavy metal around me because he knows that I didn't like it.
Oh.
We would listen to like Hoobastank and like
like so it was like the mainstream.
And then it was fucking weird because when we would have sex, we would listen to like Dido and shit. Like he listened to everything.
Oh, that's fantastic! That's hilarious.
Limp Bizkit on in the background.
Yeah, you know,
fucking Linkin Park.
My man.
That shit. Come on, I went to school.
R.I.P.
I was in high school between 2000 and 2004, so you already know.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
I already know.
Yeah.
So you're only a couple years older than me.
I'm 33.
Yeah.
I just turned 29.
I just turned 28.
Yeah. I know. I told you.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, but you still look like you're in your 20s, though. Like.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Fuck you.
I am in my 20s.
No, Brandon looks like he's legit like 20 years old. Like you have a baby face.
You could.
Thank God.
You have a baby face and you got that good skin too.
Thank you.
It's that mixed DNA.
It is. It is.
Mixed DNA. I feel like I may be more mixed than what I realized, but
fucking
I don't
mulatto
know.
bitch.
You have the do you know like Egyptians have like that certain skin tone that's like no blemishes, no anything.
Well, the Egyptians that work at my job, they're all really pale, which is
which is
weird.
odd, but that's
It's
not
weird.
usually how they look.
They're supposed to be
And
from Africa, like they're supposed to be black or olive.
they're high.
But you have very.
But it's far North Africa. Like they're not that far
Got
away.
you.
Like that's
perfect.
That makes
skin.
sense.
You have
Like,
very good skin
tone.
and I appreciate
like
that.
skin tone has everything to do with your relationship with the equator. The farther north,
that makes sense.
Yeah, the farther
No,
north.
it does. Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Might be more hemispheric stuff too, in terms of like clouds, because if you don't go way
I have
south.
something to say.
No,
I didn't want to interrupt
I'm
him.
talking about like actual like hemispheric.
No,
in terms
I know
of,
what
like,
you're saying, but
weather and shit. Like what?
didn't you say many moons ago that you're like almost half Iranian or something?
No.
Okay.
I am Syrian on my dad's side.
Half Syrian or
Yes,
something?
I am most likely to blow up that
And
building.
he's, no offense, you're very pale, so that shocked me. That he
But
has a lot of Syrian in him, which I
tan
thought was
very
so
well.
interesting. Did you know that?
Yeah, I tan very well.
I mean,
I eat grape leaves, kubi.
He has a lot of Syrian in him.
You know, I'm an asshole. It's great. Like,
okay.
What does that have to do with anything?
Okay.
What do
there
Syrians look like? Like, are they Middle Eastern?
Stop it.
Middle
Yes,
Eastern.
Middle Eastern.
Okay, so
Okay. Picture
Okay.
Jews.
Like they're usually my skin
I don't
color.
wanna-
They're
Yeah.
very
Picture
very
Jews.
nice.
probably
and
a little
then,
bit
like,
darker.
Yeah.
Even darker, yeah.
I got the metaphor. I got it for you right here. Picture Jews, but get rid of the money in the nose.
Jesus Christ. Demonetized.
and replace it with an even more prominent nose. Like, I don't know.
Well, I think Syria is like is like northeast of actually where Israel is. Just for those that have.
It is.
Yeah, it's like northeast.
Yeah.
It is its own standing country right now.
For now.
Yeah. But like my what would it be, my great grandfather? I want to say it was Jiddu or something like that. It might have been Jiddu.
That was his name?
No, that's Situ and Jiddu are grandma and grandpa respectively.
In Syria.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
okay, very nice.
and funny enough, with how tight knit and traditional, at least my dad's side of the family was, my grandmother, my Situ, she got married in. By Christopher.
Okay.
Yeah, by Christopher, my biological grandfather, who died when my dad was like a baby.
Wow.
So like
That's interesting.
So like I'm basically like the combination of like that generation's amount of like of Situ's whiteness basically getting brought into the Syrian bloodline, and then the Scotch-Irish background of my mom's family.
It's fascinating.
So like
So you're just
I love
a big of a
bloodline kinda
mutt
stuff.
as we are.
Well,
And I certainly am, because
Yeah.
I'm German, Irish, Native American, and black. So I mean
that
that's
Native
like-
American black is like really coloring you well, man.
Yeah.
I need to go.
The
I
natives.
have to go do what I did back in high school, where I just went everywhere shirtless to work on a tan. But
And
went-
I
hilarious.
actually didn't find out about the Native American side till after my father passed, which I found interesting. But apparently, from what I've heard from family members, I have enough in there to actually be considered like a member of tribe.
So you're better than Elizabeth Warren already.
like up to like around 20%, which is
Dude.
a lot.
Dude, I
So
should
I
give.
thought that was really cool.
I got like a smallpox blanket I need to give you. Like,
Elizabeth Warren's got like 0.5%, right?
yeah, she's got like such an amount that like the
She made a
Cherokee.
big deal about it,
Yeah,
which was weird.
It's
Who?
Elizabeth Warren.
The woman running for president was saying that I'm a
Got
Native
you, got you,
American,
got you. Okay.
and then it came out that she was like 0.5%.
Yeah.
And I was
Yeah.
like, that's odd.
Like Native American groups are like, we're not gonna recognize you for shit. Like,
and the tribe actually got mad. They were like, "Please stop saying you're Native American.
Yeah.
It's insulting."
Seriously.
That was funny to me.
yeah, no.
But yeah, your Native American came out when you were like many moons ago. I was just like,
I do
Right.
love wolves.
yeah, I'm going to Colorado in December,
Are you
and I
really?
hope I see fucking wolves.
Are you
yeah,
really?
That's like my
Where
one.
are
We
you
may
going?
move there eventually.
I want to go
actually.
snowmobiling just so that I can go
Hold
in the
that thought.
forest and.
You're
see
where? When are you going, or where are
December
you
3rd
going?
through 8th.
Are you going with your boyfriend,
Yeah.
or is this?
With my man.
Oh my gosh. I'm so excited for you. Like
It's-
out
It's
west.
supposed to be a.
Have you ever
getaway.
been or no?
No, I've never been.
There's something so extraordinary about out west. I can't even describe it.
Is it considered the West? I feel like it's.
It is.
It is because it's right by Utah.
Yeah, it's in the
Oh,
mountains.
okay.
It hits the mountains basically. Like Midwest is like
No, yeah,
Indiana
it's right
shit,
in the mountains.
but like
It's
West is Colorado
extraordinary.
and on basically.
When you
Gotcha.
go
Okay.
outside at night, there's just it doesn't look like you're looking at the same sky because we
No.
have so much ambient
see,
light
like, the
over
whole
here.
galaxy.
You see all of the galaxy.
I'm gonna
It's
soak all that shit. I may
gorgeous.
not come back.
You're gonna.
I
fuck
wouldn't.
us.
I almost didn't come back from Utah.
Fucking Mormon.
Utah.
Here's the thing.
I've never
No,
heard of
no
anybody ever
offense
going
against
out there.
Mormons,
On
but
purpose.
I found it really odd that I couldn't find a decent cup of coffee or a good liquor store when I was in Utah. And then I found out that Mormons don't drink alcohol or anything hot because of their book. And I thought that was really odd.
Oh, their book.
That's the oddness begins there and it ends way
Okay, if you guys really want to get
There's
to
a
oddness,
reason why they
I
considered a cult.
I befriended a Mormon once, and this is probably going to offend a lot of Mormons, but I was told by him, who got deep level into like different Mormon sects and all that. Sects. Yes. CTS.
SECTS.
Yeah.
I just want to
Sex.
say that I fully
And-
expect you to have sex on a snowmobile or in Colorado. Now
You
back
know
to your
what?
Mormon
That's
story.
the second reason why I want to go snowmobiling.
So the Mormons believe, and we can drop this subject right after this, but I have to say this because
Oh,
it's
no,
crazy.
I don't care.
The Mormons believe that in order to get into heaven, that you have to be married. So if a baby were to die, they have a ritual where a grown man marries a dead baby so it can get into
You know
heaven.
what?
And I'm like,
You
okay,
wanna know
I'm out.
something?
I'm out of Mormonism. I'm sorry, I'm out. I'm out.
What?
Meanwhile,
You were in it?
No, I was never in it, but I was weirded out.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Let's
see,
just-
demonetized, and I'm gonna get
let's
letters
not
now.
get
I hope you're
into
happy.
all the things I hate about this world.
I enjoy it. What was it?
Sorry, Aaron.
Yeah, no.
Not with that shit.
Yeah.
So,
I'm sorry, his podcast has been on lists now. I'm
No,
so
we're
sorry.
I mean,
We're fine.
no topic is off limits.
Not in
Okay,
my world.
if that's fair, then yeah.
No,
we can
no.
talk shit about whatever we want because we're
Thank
ignorant. We
you.
don't know shit anyway. So.
All of my production, everything that I'm doing is kind of revolving around, at least where Jordan's going, is just revolving on proper like free speech orientation.
I agree.
Which is
that's
where,
so important.
Which is really good because actually doing this makes me challenge it because I always feel myself ready to censor myself for good marketing or good image, and then I go,
Right.
and then
Good
I go,
for you, Aaron.
yeah, I was like, well, here's the beginning of like fighting principle versus value, and I
Absolutely.
go, and so I'm going, alrighty, how am I gonna play this out?
Yeah.
Like, at what point do you sacrifice principle for like gaining necessary value,
Right.
and when do you like hold up principle and lose the value for like something that's important? So I'll have to like challenge that as I go through JHP and Suda's like evolutions and everything.
Yeah.
And that was something that I've even struggled with because I've considered myself a libertarian my whole life.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
everybody would always...
Have you read Law yet? Have you read the Law yet?
I haven't.
I'm
It's
gonna
on
kick
my
you in the
list.
testicles 3 times.
But
I need you to
as
just talk in that deep voice for the rest of the.
I love talking in the deep voice. Sometimes I do it when I'm on the phone and it's really funny.
Oh.
I'll help you.
And then he does the eyes with it, so it's extremely. Anyway, sorry.
It's the Steven Kubrick shit. Like,
Stop. So, as a libertarian, I obviously want no government intervention in any way in terms of business. But
Sorry.
in terms of Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, for instance, saying
I
that
think you and I can
certain
agree on-
voices can't be heard, it challenges everything that I've believed in, where it says, okay, obviously it's not censorship if it's not the government doing it, but if it's censorship of a private company that happens to have a stranglehold
we're going back to this
on speech.
Yeah, we're going back to the discussion of how Twitter and Facebook have become the city center for communication. Like they're
exactly.
They're the regular well they used to go chat at in like ancient times, so to speak. So like we go back to when like Joe Rogan had like the CEO of Twitter on, and it's like you're about to be regulated on account of like Twitter is probably not going to die. Like Facebook will die before Twitter will at the current rate.
For sure.
And so that's where like Twitter is most likely to be regulated should the antitrust segments of the government like get a revival. Right. Because while I do agree with libertarian ideas of like not intervening with business like at all, It's good beer.
I love him.
When it comes to like monopolies that are very toxic to the community and to the general health, like that's where certain socialist, because that's how they would be categorized, actions.
Yeah,
like freaking was it it was Theodore Roosevelt with there was a book that published like how meat was being processed at the time, like at the peak of the 20th century. It was disgusting how meat was being made. It was so gross. So a socialist strategy, as it actually kind of is to apply federal regulations for just quality, which is great. But when you start getting regulations in play, whether it's ordinance level or federal level, for people to walk fucking dogs or sell lemonade on the corner,
no, you're right.
You can suck a dick, like.
And that's a good point, because oftentimes, like, somebody just wants to sell cookies, and
well,
then you have
you're stifling
saying you have to get a permit to do that.
Yeah,
isn't that kind of weird?
Well, it's stifling an American spirit.
I agree with that shit.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
You want a 10-year-old to go get a permit to sell lemonade on the corner?
Yeah.
So they can learn how to do things the right way and grow up to.
Oh, there you go. Interesting. Meeting
you understand?
Minds.
It's not about. It's not. Yeah, it sounds fucked up, but ultimately you're teaching the kid, this is the world you live in. Why don't you? If you want to be successful, you still can, but there are steps to take.
So you're saying learn how to adapt.
I want to teach the kid. I want to empower the kid.
Yeah.
To
I feel like that's fair.
It's a fair point, but it has to do with adapting to what is currently in play. Right. The permits are only there because someone decided that a permit would be a good idea for either. It could either be malicious for monopolizing, or it can be a safe mindset or an overprotective mindset for let's make sure these people get permits so they don't endanger the general public. But
that's always like the idea behind it. This is to keep people
that's
safe,
how it can be marketed.
Right.
That's
how it's always marketed.
So
idiots like me believe it.
So go get the fucking permit.
I would never call you an idiot.
I don't want to eat cookies that you made at. What if your lemonade has some salmonella in it because your mom left the spoon on the counter after she spiced the chicken?
You're probably gonna find out, and our medical can take care of it.
I'm just kidding. I'm overreacting, but you know what I mean.
I would never call you an idiot because you're not.
I would.
Well, the people listening to I'm just entertaining the people who may be listening and judging the shit out of me. So I'm entertaining them and calling myself.
I'm judging you. But.
When don't you fucking judge?
You're super smart, and that's why I appreciate the two of you, because.
Listen,
I don't want to. I don't like speaking ill of some people, but when I'm on the streets and sometimes when I'm just in life, I'm like, how do you function as a human being being that stupid?
But the thing is that I accept the world that we live in. I'm not a revolutionary like Aaron may be trying to change it. I'm not rebellious. I'm the type of person that just says, you know what, I'm a realist. This is how it is. If you want to get to point B, you gotta. If you want to get to point C, you gotta go through A and B first. So that's just how I am. That's how I'm gonna raise my kids. And if their purpose is to change things, then let them come into their own. Let them say, you know what, Mom, no, I'm gonna change this, and I'll support them too. So it is,
Yeah, Vanessa for Senate.
Yeah.
Replace Rubio.
As president, I nominate you.
Yeah.
Hallelujah.
Are y'all being sarcastic?
No, I'm not. I'm really not.
No, it's a good.
As someone who's.
It's a good foundational set.
I just
understand
but I like that.
who I am.
At least you're being real, and I can't say that about many
100%,
people.
100%.
So, and I love that.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm telling the kid, oh, fuck those people because they're making you get a permit.
Right.
And permits are wrong, but fuck the police. No, I'm not gonna teach my kid to look at things that way. I'm gonna teach him to say, oh, you know what? It may or may not be a speed bump. There's a reason why it's there. Just do what you gotta fucking do and don't complain about it if you're not gonna change it. Right. Just do what you gotta do.
Rage against it, but in the meantime, adapt.
If that's your purpose, because it's not everybody's purpose to be a fucking rebel and to die for whatever.
Because there are certain things. Because I don't remember. I think it was my mother who told me pick your battles, and that was always like such a huge thing to me. She was like, always pick your hill to die on, and that was so powerful to me because there are some things that I'm like, okay, I can let go, and there are other things where I will go down swinging for.
You don't understand the stupid shit that irks me. Like the other day, I walked into the bathroom and
the pack of
Ooh,
wipes was
interesting.
left open.
Ooh.
And
Oh, I'm happy.
I wanted to like I wanted to bring the open pack to my man. I'm like, this is a brand new fucking pack of wipes. If you leave it open, they're all gonna dry out.
Right.
It defeats the purpose.
Right.
I spent money on this.
I'm Mark.
Cool.
How am I gonna wipe my ass clean if the fucking wipes are dry?
Right.
But then I remembered myself, my married self, and I was just like, this is what married Vanessa would do. So I said, you know what, Vanessa, just close the fucking wipes and
Right.
stay shut.
Just pick your hill to die on.
I appreciate that principle because it basically says, hey, you need to figure out what's critically valued to your existence.
Absolutely.
100%.
And after that, like...
Which is why I appreciate my upbringing, even how sordid it may have been.
Yeah.
That I appreciate my mother. And I didn't realize that till I got older.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
Because my God, when I was a kid, I thought I knew everything.
Listen,
and that's how I am showing my age right now by saying,
right here.
I
Oh my
realized
God.
that wow, I was so
I
wrong.
literally learned how to check myself.
Yeah, just recently.
Just recently.
For me, it was
Because
within the last 2 years.
Yeah, as much as
Yeah.
I wanted to claim that I
Yeah.
was doing it during my marriage, I really wasn't. I was just, I really wasn't. But now
Absolutely.
I'm just like, you know what? I need to check myself like multiple times a day
Agreed.
because it's breaking bad habits, and it's just like it starts with one thought at a time. Like, it's a process.
For
It's a
sure.
process, but it's very rewarding because
And I
was
think
able.
in the end, you come out a better person. Because
Yeah,
you're like, okay.
and I'm proud of myself because I'm like,
You should be.
and and then I'm also like disappointed because I was really that upset over fucking wipes. Like they cost like $2. Like, Vanessa, just buy another pack of wipes. It's not
Right.
serious, you know. Like I'm telling you, it's an inner battle.
It is.
All day, every day.
It is. It's like, should I really
All day,
be
every
losing my
day.
shit over the coffee grounds on the counter?
Yeah.
No, you shouldn't, Brandon. You'll be okay.
Just wipe them.
Just wipe them
Just wipe them up.
Yeah, fuck that. I'm trying to get...
up. Are you okay, Aaron?
I'm
He's
good.
got a little odd over there.
I figured something out, actually. I'm pretty happy about it.
About what?
So, I've been trying to get you to read The Law by Frederick Bastiat.
Yes.
Yeah. There's actually, you can actually listen to the audiobook on YouTube.
Nice.
It's like 2 hours.
Tomorrow.
Oh, that's
Done.
nothing.
Yeah, it's
Done.
cake.
Tomorrow.
Tonight.
Done.
Tonight. On the way
basically.
home. Because
But
it's
Yeah,
literally
it's
a
going to be
2 hour
2
drive.
hours.
So, and
All the
I'll-
way back to Lake County.
Oh, fuck.
Broadcasting
And I
live from
highly-
Winter Springs, Egypt. Sorry.
Oh my god, sorry, my cough is like worse. Listen, it's not Aaron's
Ow.
fault that he lives in the middle of.
You're right.
Okay, I think I've already broken it down that I don't
Let's
like where
break
I live.
it down that Aaron needs to move.
He needs to be
So you
mobile.
want to break down
he
like
needs
our...
to be mobile. You're welcome.
You need to be mobile.
Dude,
A van
dude,
mobile
Traveling
podcast
with
studio.
My man, like
Man,
you
my
need
man.
to. You hear this breakdown? You hear this breakdown? You ready for this?
Listening.
Break
Ready?
it down.
Ready for it?
Break
Okay.
it down.
Okay. So as of like last night, we're like having Ron. We sit next to this like couple. They're like married and shit. They got like a fucking 6-month-old, adorable little fucker, and
I'm in already.
so they were from.
That's
He was from
his
I
Palm-
want to see where this is going.
He was from Palm Beach, and I don't know where she was
Oh.
from or whatnot. But they were
Palm
like they
Beach.
were a great couple. We had a good chat with them and everything. And they live out in Colorado. All right.
Where you
So they smoke weed.
Where you?
Actually, no,
Definitely.
he only complained that you couldn't get good weed here in Florida, and I was like, that's a fair statement.
So they
So
have
we
allegedly.
well we discussed
Allegedly.
with them how me and Melanie both had very distinct drives to leave Florida, like we were down here.
Yeah, you
And-
were gonna go to Texas, right?
Yeah, and we were gonna go to Austin, and she agreed with that, and we're very positive on that. But with how certain things are going in terms of political discourse, drug discourse, with like psilocybin, and how revolutionary that is going to be for health in the short future,
Right.
and how great Colorado's sort of doing per se, and we want to get 5 acres for all the things we want to build on it.
I will invest. I will
Yeah.
invest.
Great.
Yeah, like we're set on getting like a 5-acre piece, but like the thing that we're certain of as of basically, because it's Tuesday, so last night we're walking away and going like, we're probably gonna end up in Colorado. We could very well end up in Colorado in my mindset, and I think she agrees. We just have to get to a southern end, so because Melanie's never seen snow, but she's very anti-cold.
Really? Aww.
And like,
I just
but like
layer-
Jay, the guy,
layer her up.
Layers.
Jay, the husband of the couple we met last night, was like, yeah, dress for the right layers. Like, Florida doesn't dress for it. You dress for it
Right.
in the morning, and then you take your clothes off by noon because it's fucking Florida.
Right.
But end of day, because I think about how Texas is as a very Republican state and how very like stubborn they would be about progressive legislation towards very healthy alternatives of medicine that are much more natural, like for weed, for CBD, for psilocybin and mushrooms in the short term. I'm going like Colorado maybe where we buy our 5 acres. Like we're very likely going to be renting this house, moving to Austin in the early beginnings of 2020, and we'll basically like rent in Austin for a year and get that under our feet.
Right.
And then make a decision on basically where we're going to buy 5 acres and, you know, build our compound, our ranch, like whatever we decide to call it. Because we want to have like our house and then like 4 or 5 little Airbnb, like, you know, think of the container houses or whatnot. Cool. Just like get little slabs of cement, build all the
I love those little places.
Yeah,
That's
just
so
build
cool.
like a bunch of little things. Have a woodworking metal workshop with like the freaking broadcast, like something that would be for this or for like making skits and shit.
Right.
Or doing like live stream, like because I have an idea to like combine D&D with improv, where the improvisers are acting out what the D&D is like making. So like have a studio for production, have like a dance ballroom for just because she does ballet. She has a ballet background. We both love ballroom,
Yeah, she does.
as well as I love hip hop dancing. So like we'd have a thing for that, and then we have whatever spare. The other 2.
I would love to see that.
Yeah.
Right? I would love to see you do
I've,
that.
I've scaled all this on like say this whole table with like this dividing line that goes down. Like half of this is what my dad has actually cleared of his 5. Okay, so like one half is all the buildings I just mentioned, and the other half is us building like our own foodstuffs, crop stuff.
I was gonna say grow your own food.
Animals, mushroom growing, weed growing, shit like that.
Shooting range
or whatever, like
archery range.
Yeah,
archery
shit like that. So like we're all.
However, let me just say that I would think that Texas would be cheaper not only for land but also tax wise. Because given that you said it's a Republican state, taxes tend to be lower. Like, look at Florida, for instance.
Yeah, well,
there's
that
no
comes down to
state tax at all. But Colorado's very high taxes.
It can be. It very likely is. It's one of those.
Just something to think about.
It's a piece of research we have not delved into, but I'm far more concerned with what legislation is in play and what state is heading in the right direction that would most.
You're not even a pot smoker, though, right?
I've done pot twice since I left. Our employer, our former employer.
Good catch.
I know, right?
Walmart.
Right. Wally World. Walla McDonald's. No, like my friend got melanoma, so I was like, I need to stop caring.
Really?
Yeah.
That's too bad.
It's his business, so I'm not gonna give out his or her name. But they had a melanoma diagnosis.
Sucks.
And they're doing great now.
They're
on just on immunization right now, so they're pretty much on the road to recovery. They cut out like the main masses, and now it's just like it's just like he's on the road to recovery. He's working full time again. So like good news. Yeah. But I was kind of like. Yeah, no. After like my mom passing, while I look back and I know I did everything that I sort of could with where I was and a lot of things, you always know you can do better than you did. I'm not gonna be so hard on myself, but
you shouldn't.
Like I recognize like where is points of opportunity for how you did it before, and I look at that and went, I've been holding out on that for a long time. I was holding out for a while to do it with my father. To like reconnect with him, and then I found out he hadn't like smoked in like 4 years because he just in his age or whatever it just made him anxious. It wasn't as calming as it used to be, so he just hangs out with like his cranberry vodka and like a Monte Cristo cigar, just chills on that shit. So I was like, well, that's at the door, and I'm not about to do it with his bullshit girlfriend, so or his bullshit female that lives with him on the weekends. So I was like, well, fuck, this has happened to my friend, and so I don't care. Like, I think I was still employed there doing pharmaceutical work, but I was like, kind of don't care. Like, I will say to whoever to the face, is like, this is the deal. This is what it's broke down, whatever the test reads. Like, yeah, I'm not going to lie to you about it. So, like, yeah, and that's when I, like, watched, like, the first few episodes of Letterkenny, and I was like crossfaded,
Oh
and I almost
gosh.
died. I almost fucking
Have
died.
you ever seen that show, Vanessa?
No.
It is a Canadian comedy.
It's Canadians out in like the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, it is like
Canadians are funny.
Canadians are
okay.
hilarious.
Let me see if I can run this.
I'm just
like,
kidding. They're like the sweetest people.
No, I'll give you.
and
They're freaking
Sick.
hilarious.
No,
though.
let me see if I can run this.
How do companies get around that? Like, say for instance in California or say Colorado, if they're like harshly, like a drug testing kind of company, but it's legal in the state, how do they get around that?
The company's allowed to make that adjustment because the law is not protecting the citizen.
Because it's federal.
Yeah, well, it's a matter of the law will either dictate protection of the citizen for discrimination based on drug use, or because there's like a recent drug that passed that companies are not allowed to fire based on medical marijuana use. So
Right.
it has to do with what the law is saying. The law is either saying this is not allowed to be used at all, so the companies get a free right to put it in,
Yeah.
or it says this drug is not illegal anymore, but every company reserves the right to make its own decision.
Like an
on-
at-will kind of
Yeah,
thing.
especially
that
like
makes sense.
if you're working with pharmaceuticals or high level things,
Private
you're allowed
company,
to make a high
yeah.
level,
Right.
demand of your
100%,
employees.
especially
Yeah.
if they're required to be
employment,
licensed by the
right.
state.
Exactly.
Like
That
there's
makes
Or they're,
obviously
you know-
So it doesn't
requirements
matter if federal law
No.
dictates something.
Federal law,
if the state's
it's,
like,
it's the part where
it's funny how states' rights.
the adjustment. It's one of the things. The sooner we find a way
Get
to
into that.
register what your THC or your probably the THC, but if we have a way to do a breathalyzer test on you, an equivocal breathalyzer test on someone that is high or intoxicated on another set of substances, the sooner we can actually have like a quick read on that is probably the better we are at keeping our like roads and drivers safe, as well as evaluating like our workers. Because as much as I think anyone working on any job should be able to go home and have a drink or have a smoke,
Totally.
because I think all drugs should be legal, because it's its own silliness that we have to have laws to tell you what not to take when we've all kind of like understand that heroin and cocaine are really bad for you. And like certain things, like, there's certain things that not to do. Like don't bring
Exactly.
like, so it's like, please stop trying to legislate me
You
into
don't need
more.
the government to tell you what to do.
Yes,
They're still gonna fucking do it.
Well, they are.
Right, exactly.
The funny thing is that like we always hear about the worst cases, but like there's a stat out. There's a stat out like a couple years ago where like only like 2% of people that ever do like cocaine or something like that ever actually get.
Sorry.
That only like
Okay.
a very small percentage of those, at least in the college age, that try hard drugs ever get truly addicted on them. Like they'll do it and they'll be done. They'll like have their crazy college
I've
years.
never fucked
Neither have
with
I.
Yeah, and like heroin
anything
is
other than weed.
Yeah, heroin's like the only drug that actually, because heroin integrates into your body incredibly well, and that's why you are instantly physically addicted to it out the
That's
gate.
insane. That's
Yeah.
insane.
I would never. As a genuinely paranoid person in general, like I didn't even like weed back in college
Yeah.
because it made me even more paranoid than I already am. I'm over here thinking somebody's coming through the window trying to kill me.
It's like it's the government and the pizza man.
It's
I'm
the
like, fuck.
government and the neighbor. So I mean that was just not for me. I learned that early on.
The
Thank
vole is
God.
coming for you, Brandon.
The vole is coming for me. Not
Right?
only the neighbor, but
Yeah. So like, and that's where I was checking because like after listening to the next episode of because did you ever listen to the first Paul Stamat's Joe Rogan episode?
I didn't.
I've told you so many things. to
Yeah,
watch.
you have.
So like, but he
I
was,
have a list.
he was back on like 5 days ago on the Joe Rogan podcast.
okay,
Yeah, he
nice.
has a whole new thing where they've created a feeder to feed bees with the reishi, the mushroom extract to like 400 1,000 times over help their immune system beat the deformed wing virus that comes from the mite. And so he's developing that, and they're basically running that they need to probably get out 10 billion of these things.
Wow.
And his business, his fungi.com can only put out like 10,000 to give. But
You okay?
you good?
Yeah, I was just like, my throat was super scratchy.
Ooh.
You want water?
No.
We talked
Yeah.
about this.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not
I'm
actually
gonna grab
vodka.
some.
You want a shot? Like,
No.
Do you
okay.
guys know anything
Thank
about
you.
Billy Joel? This is so off
Music?
topic.
He's a
I'm so
singer.
sorry.
He's music-wise, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, on
Okay,
this side of the table.
No, super off topic.
Okay.
Continue about the bees.
Yeah.
I actually love the bees. And when I was at Whole Foods, I actually...
Like, I get, like, saving the world and not using plastic, but this bitch is heavy.
The fact that it's
Can
not
you send me a
vodka
weak
just
sauce,
upsets me.
motherfucker, and take your shit. Let's go. You think that's gonna make me flinch? Come on.
Oh, it is
The
water.
fact that it's water just...
How long has it been sitting here? Am
You
I gonna
should
die?
I
Is this
filled that up.
contaminated?
I filled that up right before you got here.
If it's from the faucet,
Put
there's
a drop of
probably
bleach in it
high
and
levels
shake
of
it.
iron in it.
no,
It is
we
for,
have a rain soft system. That shit's so soft.
Oh, it is. Wow.
Yeah. Like you'll bathe in that, you feel oily afterwards because your natural oils are still on you instead of all the mineral bullshit in Florida
We
water.
love oils.
No, seriously, like take a shower at my place. You'll feel like you're dirty after you've like soaped and lathered and everything because it doesn't have all the extra mineral bullshit that makes you that coats you in bullshit.
I'll be over this weekend to shower.
As you should.
Shower right now.
I hope everybody's... Oh, okay. Party in the shower.
I'll put the thing on high heat. It'll be hot. I'll put my hot water heater on high heat. You will not run out of hot water. Guaranteed.
Yeah, this thing is kind of.
I guess
Yeah.
my point was that the other
Hey.
day I was... It was actually on my birthday last Friday.
Mm-hmm.
And I was listening to Billy Joel. And
Really?
when I was...
Go
Sorry.
on.
I'm like, that's so much of a coincidence.
Were you doing it too? Oh, okay. I was about to
No,
say.
that didn't you ask about him, and then he just so happened to be listening to him.
No. He's the one that asked about.
Oh,
Billy
he
Joel.
asked about.
Sorry, it was all
Ignore
me.
me.
It was all me.
Continue,
Is
I
that is
But
water,
anyway.
right? Like.
My point was, this is probably going to sound really inane, but I got really into this. I started researching him as I was listening to him. And it turns out, you may have already known this, that he's 100% Jewish. Did you know that?
No.
So the thing that
I
shocked
don't
me
care
is
about Billy
that...
Joel, but go on.
I mean, his name is William Joel. Isn't that a Jewish name?
No, I have no idea.
I'm fucking with you. I don't know.
All right.
I'm so ignorant. I have
but
no idea.
the thing about it is, I've loved him for years, and he's always presented himself as an Italian man, so that kind of shocked me.
Well,
Well, maybe he's. Go ahead, Aaron.
pay attention. Like, keep your mic close to your face. Like, a fist away from your face so we can hear whatever bullshit comes out of your mouth. Like,
Are you sure you want to hear what I'm doing?
I'm sure.
more often than not, yeah. It's either correct or entertaining.
Continue.
Continue.
I don't know, like,
Carry on.
he probably can very much look Italian. I mean, because,
No, for sure.
Yeah,
I
'cause-
agree with that.
it's, I don't know how this is going to sound racist, but, like, Jews, in terms of, like, their being in the Mediterranean area usually equates to, like, a skin tone that is, like, similar to, like, y'all's, basically. Like, it's
Which is very interesting,
Yeah.
because I did more research into it, and it turns out Jews and Italians have very similar,
skin tones, yeah.
in a lot of ways,
Yeah.
just
Like DNA?
bloodlines and brotherhood.
Yeah, it's all the Mediterranean area right there.
But
like,
the thing that weirded me out is that songs or scenes from an Italian restaurant, Only the Good Die Young, where he talks about the Catholic girls. There's just all these things that he's presented himself as this Italian man, which kind of just shocked me. I was like,
Maybe that was his target audience.
maybe it was. And I mean, he is from Long Island. He's
Until-
from that part of New York that's
Yeah.
very Italian.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of Jews there as well.
Yeah.
I guess
But, like...
I was taken aback
Who
because
do
I was
you-
like super fascinated because
Who do you
I
want to
always...
appeal to? Who do you want to appeal to? The Italians that spend money or the Jews that never spend money?
Oh, I didn't say that.
Consumerism. Like...
No, but I found it fascinating because I've been such a Billy Joel fan.
Yeah.
And I was like 100% Jewish, and I never knew that he was...
I think Italians
It's
have a
just
very
so-
alluring thing to them.
Nobody
Like,
knew.
Nobody knew.
you know what's... Okay, so...
They all know now.
You know what's the funny thing about Scarface? Because I watched it when I wasn't
Pseudo
working for like half of
podcast,
November.
1 million views.
For the first
10
time?
Yeah,
million views.
What is
Sorry,
what
sorry,
are
I
you
was,
telling?
I was telling everybody that now everybody knows Billy Joel's Jewish because 10 million views.
You know, straight
Sorry.
No one's watching this right now. They're
Hey!
trying to tune in.
Everybody's watching.
They will a year
They'll
from
wa-
now after you blow up.
See, like, one, I appreciate you. Two,
Thank you.
as I was getting back to my Scarface point, is that the funny thing is that I watched that, and while you understand that his character is Cuban in background, by the end of it, he's just an Italian gangster anyway. Like,
Straight up.
like I'm
True,
sorry,
no,
like
you're right.
Italians were gangster before African Americans.
And
Like,
I love Italians, and I love everybody.
wow,
let's
that's
be
the
honest.
safest Republican thing you could say all day. Like,
I love Italians.
I'm not racist. I love all races. Totally. Like,
No, but to be honest, I guess I was just surprised. I guess I was just surprised because I would have bet money
That he was
in
Italian. Yeah,
that he
yeah,
was
yeah.
Italian.
Yeah, that's
because
fair.
so many of his songs, and I can't think of it now.
I mean,
'cause
I'm pretty sure a
stupid.
lot of
But there
people-
was a lot of references to it, like an Italian
Yeah.
lineage from New York.
well, I mean, I think a lot of people would
It
put like
inspired him.
Actually,
It did inspire him,
I
think that's awesome.
Did I ever tell you about the story of the first time I listened to what's his name? Song was White Iverson.
Oh, Post Malone.
Post Malone.
He sounds black.
Oh, did I tell you the first time I listened to like White Iverson by him?
No.
Okay, I was working retail. It was like 4 a.m. I'm blocking, so I'm bringing everything like nice and forward. And so my GTL, my team leader, was like, "Hey, listen to this song by Post Malone." And I was like, "All right, cool." And it was White Iverson. It was just like the single cover. It was gorgeous. It sounded amazing. I was picturing like some motherfucker from Jagged Edge just R&Bing his fucking way through.
Absolutely.
Fuck yeah. And then I go watch the music video and it's some Mustang doing donuts in the desert and
he's
scraggly.
white.
He's white. He's ugly. He looks like He looks like he's sponsored by Hefty. It's fucking just disgusting.
Tattoos on
whoa!
He's
shots fired.
Ragged looking
hair,
motherfucker.
yeah.
Okay, like.
I like Post Malone. Let's not shit on him today.
I have not
I
finished.
love him, but he looks like shit.
Whoa!
I have not finished.
Always
either.
tired.
I have not.
Hashtag face tattoo.
Yeah, then go sleep, motherfucker. God damn it.
He has his face tattoo.
Have you listened to this
tattoo, Brandon? Please don't stand up for that fucking
I'm
tattoo.
not standing up for him. I just like his music.
Have you listened to the freaking sleep doctor that was on Joe Rogan podcast? Obviously not, because I listened.
No, I have because
yeah.
I found that really fascinating.
Oh, yeah.
You need sleep.
You need
not
7 hours
you
of sleep every
personally,
night,
but everybody
like,
does.
Yeah, 7 hours of sleep every night is probably your best bet to counter autism
Sleep when I'm dead.
or Alzheimer's. But no, that was my initial take. I was just disgusted because I had this image in my head of just this suave-looking African-American guy, and then it's some dude I expect out of a trailer park. Some trailer park looking motherfucker. That's what I picture with the sound. All I had was sound to go off of. Then I watched the music video. I'm just like, fuck. And then about a few years later, especially with the Yellow Cover album that had Better Now and other tracks.
Yeah,
it was a good album. And I was like, okay, I like them.
Beer bongs and Bentleys.
Yeah, Beer Bongs and Bentley. That was a good album. At that point, I was like, okay, he's a great dude. He's really fucking nice. He's so he's very musical.
People would be shocked to know I listen to some rap music.
I am also impressed.
Is that rap music?
Well, it might be.
It's in
Is
the
it more
hip-hop
pop
genre.
or no?
It's
Yeah,
not.
it's-
It's
I don't know. I think it's considered rap. Well, he loves
I would
rock
say it's
music as
hip-hop.
well.
He loves
so-
music.
Yeah, he loves music.
He's a music guy.
Yeah, that's true.
I feel like
He's reminding me of Travis
hip-hop
Barker
is-
because I listened to that podcast today.
How was it?
Good.
Was it good?
Travis Barker's a trip.
He's an interesting dude.
Dude,
Yeah, he
okay,
really
did
is.
you see actually, I don't think you're on Instagram much, but I was at my friend Mike Batista's, he's on a Blink-182 tribute band.
I saw that.
Called Blink-182,
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
And so...
That's cool.
So I had Mike on for a JHP episode, just one-on-one, and I just let him nerd out about Star Wars, Halo, and shit, he could give
All
you...
good stuff.
He could give you a great breakdown of, those universes to where it's, compelling.
I need to speak with that man.
Yeah.
With
I'm
Mike?
not
Obsessed with
into
Star Wars. Oh,
And
okay,
maybe he can
sorry.
convince me.
Well, he actually did a full live stream on his Twitch channel, ML Bone Daddy.
ML Bone Daddy.
Yeah,
I love that.
I think it's Major League Bone Daddy or whatnot. I think that'd be a decent thing. Anyway, he did a full live stream with the recent Jedi Fallen Order that came out. He's
I got
already
so many questions already because I was thinking about Star Wars this morning.
yeah he's played through it all. He did a 7-hour stream on it or whatnot. Yeah, he has that kind of time. But anyway, he's the drummer. He does the Travis Barker piece of Blink-182. Yeah, and the funny thing is that I used to work with him at retail. He was in the deli, and he was just decently cool dude. Got the work done and shit like that. I knew he did band stuff and drummer stuff, and I was much more elitist than how I was back then. And so I was like, no, come on, I've been wanting to have you on because I kind of I treat JHP and a little bit of pseudo as a way to highlight fascinating people and people that I care about. Last week I had Maya on, who was the one.
I saw that. Yeah.
She's amazing. And
Is that one of your mother's close friends, right?
No, she's my friend.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
okay.
she was the woman that helped me do all the engravings of the flasks for my teachers.
Oh, for
yeah,
college.
she was my engraver person till things happened with the company, and she's freaking. You'd love her because she's just ridiculous. She, one of my favorite things. Okay, I can remember both. You know the classic thing where you threaten someone in a way. It's I'm gonna beat your ass, and it's oh, is that a threat? Mm-hmm. And usually the cliched one now is no, that's a promise. She's in there, and so her reply is this. Is they say, oh, is that a threat? And she's like, no, it's a schedule.
That is so proper. You have to respect it. You have to respect it.
It's proper and gangsta.
And her other little microcosm she had out of all of her crazy shit was that like she was quick to fight in a way as a kid. So like she's 8 years old, and her uncle, who's effectively like I think her father, he basically warned her at one point. He was like, hey, one day you're gonna meet a motherfucker that you don't want to mess with. And she's like, what if I'm that motherfucker?
Badass.
And you're
You
just
need
like,
to get her on.
oh no, yeah, like she's Pseudo has this.
I like this woman.
So JHP is for the one-on-ones where I want to dive deep with the individual.
Pseudo is multiple people.
Pseudo's a rotating cast. Like I just put out like because like this was where an easy.
Is this our first
Yeah,
Pseudo?
No. Well, this is episode 4.
Okay.
This is episode 4 of Pseudo.
I want it to be number one.
It's our first.
It's
Yes.
our first.
Yeah, and I'll just rotate.
Firsts are important.
Yeah. So but yeah, but that's
Sorry.
but that's the rotation.
I
Jay,
have to pee again.
yeah, because you broke the seal, dumbass.
I know. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but yeah, so that's sort of the idea. So back to Mike. I had him on for JHP. Had him, the drummer.
Oh,
the drummer.
Yeah.
Had him on, had him nerd out and stuff. Knew he'd basically been basically working to emulate Travis Barker, who's one of the most lauded drummers in all of music per se. And he was, he came into Blink-182 and gave it an extra batch of personality and talent back in the day. And he's just done like crazy stuff now. Like he's done tours with Lil Wayne, Rick Ross, and stuff, and Drake. And he's the one that had the plane accident and stuff. So anyway, Mike's been emulating him as a drummer for like most of his life. Like Mike has a similar story in that all he's ever wanted to do is just play drums. Like he doesn't care. And he loves doing Travis Barker's drum lines that Travis did and writing the drum stuff for Blink-182 because while it's not like peak and some like elitist classic looking at how to play drums, it's that Travis wrote very unique, fantastic stuff to play. Like Mike plays in Blink-182 because Blink-182 songs are fun to play.
Right.
So that's all I get in the JHP episode. I pull him on for like a Pseudo episode for like episode 3 I think, and just let him like hang out with me, Jose, Jamie, and shit. But last Saturday, a few days ago, me and Melly and then Jason joined us. We went out to the Blink-182 concert at Bombshell off Edgewater.
Nice. And
they had like a 2-hour set. And I got to watch him go the fuck off. And it was like, so they did a really good casting in that, I don't know their names for the other 2 guys that are part of the tribute band, but the more darker skinned guy that plays Mark, per se, has the right vocal. The other guy that plays Tom, he can't hit the exact nasal tone of Tom, but he does
it's very unique.
It's very unique. It's very unique.
Let's be honest.
Where are you? Like...
It's so strange.
Good try.
Right, I know, right?
Nice try.
But like they have a really good thing. They just they have a good fuck around and everything like that. And like you get to watch Mike just go the fuck off, just going hard. And you're like, this is really good, really fun. Like it's as close as you can get to like feeling like you're at a Blink-182 concert, but in like a small venue with not the exact cast. And then like we get done and we go up to meet Mike like post show because he. Like, there's no ego about the guy. There's no ego about Mike, I'll say. He's just got his passion and his discipline. And we come up, and it's like, dude, that was really awesome or whatnot. And, like, that was really cool stuff. Because he got, like, 2 drum solos in it. Wow. And, you're like, watch him just go the fuck off and everything. And I got the impression from a few things that I can't remember itemized right now. And I was like, it kind of appears like you're the biggest name in this band. He's like, and I asked him, I was like, how many... people came here to see you effectively. Like they came here how many people came here to see you? And he's like, probably 90%.
Wow.
And I'm just like, get the fuck out of here. And he says it with like no ego or no like grandiose pieces. He's like, probably 90% honestly. Because like people are just coming up like, as me and Mel are chatting.
They're all here for me.
Yeah, like none of that kind of bullshit. And it's like, I get it. Because he's just got the talent.
He's just that good.
He's got the talent. He's just got the discipline for it. Like he's just like.
How long has he been playing drums?
Since like middle school.
Wow.
Like, and here's the funny thing that he gave on like the JHP podcast is that his parents gave him like, here's the hoops we need you to jump through before we'll let you get a drum set.
Right.
And he jumped through all of them. He got his grades. He got his grades. Yeah. He did all these other musical instruments, and then he got his drums, and he never looked back.
Wow.
Like, good for him.
Yeah. So
that's some shit I would do.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
like work for what you want and see if you really want it.
Yeah. So and that was their first show in 6 months this past Saturday. So I'm like really positive on like.
future
drums.
shows.
I used to play drums.
Did you really?
Like in high school band or something?
I
Stop
attempted
it.
to start learning, and so like I had my whole like drum pad and my drumsticks, and I was doing like, my all that stuff, and yeah, but I quit.
Do you need to move the anchor a little closer so you can keep
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
And
I know it's far away right now, so I don't think it's gonna.
Yeah, I literally moved it like, this is in my way. Let me move it.
You're like
forgetting that I needed it. Yeah. Stupid subconscious. But yeah, I quit like every instrument that I tried to play.
I did trombone and then I went back to sports when I really should have probably gone to drama.
I did basketball.
I should have gone to drama.
You'd be good at drama.
I know I would. I was
You're
good.
a dramatic cat.
I was good at drama in 8th grade.
A little bit.
Yeah. I can memorize script like a son of a bitch.
I can't.
I took a high
can't?
schooler's.
I couldn't.
I took a high schooler's role or at least a middle schooler's role as like a. So I was like in Sunday school age, and I basically took the lead role from like the high schooler or the middle schooler because I could memorize the whole script.
What was
That's
the
amazing.
what was the?
I played both the child of Noah and actual like younger man Noah building the ark. So I basically was like I was on stage the whole play.
Right.
And I had the whole script in my head.
Zanny.
Stop.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Like.
Can I get your autograph?
Stop it.
Yeah, I know. Like.
What is that noise? Is that Melanie?
No, that's the guest. That's Dasha.
Who?
I have an Airbnb guest in this room.
Oh my gosh, you're still doing that?
You forgot?
If I
never forgot.
If I don't make money off this room, I'm in the negative each month.
I have to go pee. I'll be back.
You have to go to my room now.
Wait, what?
She's in the shower.
She's
Can
in
you
the
hear
shower.
I'm horrified.
That's her single thing. Hold on, let's go check this out.
Single thing.
Talk to people.
All right, this is your monologue. Rap some Cardi B.
God. No. I'll just wait for them. We'll just, ladies and gentlemen, we'll just pause. And I'll check my phone. Where is my phone?
That's great.
Yeah, no, I told him I was gonna check my phone, so it's cool.
Yeah, you're gonna be fully interactive over here.
Damn, my boo hasn't even hit me up. So that either means he's upset that I'm here,
okay.
or he's just
Motherfucker
truly
should be
that
watching
busy.
this live stream. Tell him to watch the live stream so he knows
Well,
you're not
I
cheating.
told him to.
Yeah.
I told him to, and he was just like, "No, I'm good." And I was just like,
He could have come through.
In my head, I would. Yeah, no,
He could've come through.
I told him to come, but he has his son. He has his son, and
So
they
I
wanted,
could put the kid. I could put the kid out in the living room on video games, not give a fuck. Give him in 64.
True,
He'll be
but
good
he
for 5
wanted
hours.
to like do some father-son stuff. So I'm like,
So
all right,
then
well,
he might
y'all
be
have a blast.
He might be fully engaged with his son, and he's
Right.
not being a salty bitch. So stop labeling him a salty bitch before you know he's covered in kosher.
I'm 77% sure
You know your man more than I do. I've never met
that
the fucker, so.
he's being a salty bitch. Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, love you, Bill. In case you're listening.
Yeah. I need to buy the websites and shit and get these fuckers on Apple Podcasts, but that costs regular money that I don't feel like shelling out.
Yeah. Well, it's 6:07.
No, we got another hour. If we can. We're actually running through this pretty fucking well, actually.
Yeah, I like it.
Oh yeah, no.
I like it. It's very natural.
Oh yeah, that's the whole
Good
point.
chemistry. We bounce off ideas off each other very well.
So would you two be like set like every Tuesday from here on, more or less?
Well, I can't. I was off today, and that's why I came in.
Okay.
I came early.
Okay.
But
Because I'm usually out of work by like 2:00.
damn.
So I'm home by like 2:30.
Amazing.
Yeah, but we go to bed like at 9:30 these days.
I usually get out of work at 7. So by the time I get here, it would be like
8.
But yeah, like 8 o'clock.
It'd be 8. I used to drive that. So you'd be here by 8 and then you wouldn't be home till...
And to do it after work, honestly, I probably wouldn't add that much value because I would just be like...
Dead. Unless we threw like
I would be mentally... Because my job isn't like physically draining. It's just mostly mentally draining.
You went in that room?
I went in that room and I was like, this is not what I know.
You Egypt. Run through.
Yeah.
What did I miss?
You'll get
Nothing
it together
special.
one day.
She thinks she's 77% sure her man's being salty. because
salty.
Like,
is that what you said?
yeah, because like she's here and he might. I don't know.
And he's not.
And he's not. I don't know what that means. Whether he's jealous that she's on a podcast or
We
or
should
he's
put him on a
jealous that-
podcast so we can question him.
Oh, he's such a character. Let me talk about him for a little bit.
Let's do it. What's his name? Not
name-
his full name, just
is-
his first name.
He goes by Giovanni.
Giovanni.
What a
Okay,
little
that's a
bitch.
good name.
I
I love that
absolutely
name.
love
It's
that
very
name.
Giovanni.
Italian.
Yo,
It is so
Giovanni.
sexy.
Giovanni il ragazzo.
Shut
Shout out to Giovanni.
You little bitch.
Sexy ass name for a sexy guy. But
Il
anyway.
ragazzo Giovanni.
I bet he's covered in Parmesan, fucker.
Oh shit, that's him video chatting
My
me
man.
right now.
And he's like,
Yo, I
how
swear to
dare
God.
you call
Let
me out
me-
on podcast?
Okay, let me take this real
Actually,
quick.
that's the
No,
perfect
is
timing.
he Italian though? Can I?
That's
is
actually
he
the perfect
Italian?
timing.
Hi babe.
Tell him he's live.
We're live. We're
Let
live.
me check something.
Yo, I swear to God, we was just
We were
talking
just
about
talking
you.
about
We
you.
were just talking about you.
Is he on deck? No, there's no one watching right now. So like, I thought
Yeah,
I
but
thought
I'm gonna call you
I was
back.
waiting
We're
to see
almost
it, yeah.
done.
yeah, we got like an hour left.
All right.
Oh, that's funny.
Bye, babe.
I'm gonna thumbnail that shit.
That's funny though.
That's great. That's a great man. His
So,
ear.
is he Italian, Vanessa?
No,
gotta-
he's Puerto
jeez.
Rican.
Giovanni's a very
He's from
Italian
Harlem.
Gosh.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
Jersey
so-
and Harlem, worlds collide.
Well, I'm from New Jersey, for
That's
y'all
what I
that
said.
don't know.
That's-
Oh, they all
And
know.
then-
Trust me, they're all follow
And
follow
then
your
he's from
Instagram.
Harlem.
Gosh.
Straight up, like, has a hoodie that says "I love Harlem." Reps Harlem in all of his social media. Like
Harlem's-
he has the
Okay,
word
explain
Harlem in
this to
all of
someone
his
who's
social
like
media.
from Florida. Is
Yeah.
like so the different boroughs of New York. So is there more pride depending on where you're from?
Oh yeah.
Like, do you have the same pride for New Jersey, for instance?
No one
or-
has pride in New Jersey.
I don't really have, because we're a humble people.
No, because it's a shit
Yeah.
state.
No, honestly, like it just all
It's a
depends on their
landfill of the
neighborhood.
New
Okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
like well, Staten Island is the landfill of New York, but
God damn it.
and I literally come from a town in New Jersey that's right across from Staten Island.
Oh wow.
So you get the smell
So
of
I
diaper
would know.
barge.
So
I
like
would know.
somebody from Harlem or like Queens or something would have more pride than say someone
everybody's
from like
proud
okay.
of where they're
The
from.
only
Gotcha.
way you show
Everybody's proud of
Orlando.
where they're
Okay, let's make this clear. The only way you show Orlando pride was the Disney shirt.
I'm not from Orlando.
I know.
understand what
You're
saying.
you're from the.
Or
You're
I'm from
Or
Punta
if you're-
Gorda. Sorry.
Punta
Punta Gorda.
Gorda.
Yeah.
Got you.
Punta Gorda, Florida. Full of retirees. It's a very nice coastal town.
You know why you're such a boomer? You were raised around boomers.
I was. No, you're right. You're right. That's
That
why
makes
I'm
so
like
much sense. That
I'm
makes so much fucking sense.
I'm 29 going on 60.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
Waiting for you to get
you're
your
right.
AARP card and a colostomy bag. Let's go.
You're so right.
Dude.
Can we talk about our pact? We have a pact.
You
do.
that
We have
if-
a pact.
We have a pact.
It's a
That
good
if
pact.
we're not what was it?
It's a
If we're
good
not
pact.
married by like 40,
Oh, you guys
Yeah.
are running the Friends
married
Pact.
with kids by 40, that we would like I would give them my eggs
Uh-huh.
and like we would have a kid.
Give me your eggs.
Yeah, like test tube baby.
Yeah, she's not gonna have sex with you.
Oh,
Yeah, we're
okay.
not-
Well, I'm
Yeah.
kind of really less excited about this like act then.
He was
Well, I didn't want to say.
Nothing to look forward
he
to.
was ready to tap that ass.
Nothing to look forward to. All right. Well,
Listen,
And here's the thing about Brandon though, not to because
you're a gentleman, and I didn't
he
want to
is.
disrespect
He
you.
Thank
would
you.
he would wine, dine,
Thank you.
massage. Like he'd spend a week
he knows.
and then he'd plow. like
He knows.
And I'm okay with that.
he would fertilize that ground so hard, like
The old-fashioned way, you fucking boomer.
The old-fashioned way.
like compost, manure, the corn con, the cob I
Bruh.
just ate, like, and then plow and plant that seed.
Okay,
This is going
Obviously,
off
I
the
would
rails.
prefer to do it the old-fashioned way.
Then why are you
But,
talking?
This
You,
is going off
but
the
you know,
rails.
what if I'm gay by then? Like, you
No,
know,
you're
you
not.
never
What
know.
if you're gay by
What
then?
if I?
honey, okay,
What in the
Brianna,
world
You
is
never
happening?
know.
okay. First off, Brianna, love you, but there's a certain amount of bullshit
Stop
you're trying
it.
to run on right
Stop
now that like
it.
Brie was when she was dealing with her life.
Yo, straight up, she was like, "I'm gay as fuck,"
And she's not.
and then she's in love with a man now,
And
and
you-
I'm totally.
and you are
I
like,
support her regardless.
you're like,
Let me ask you a question as a
okay,
woman.
let me finish.
Hold on, let him finish his
Let me
point.
finish.
Go ahead.
You are fucking straight, but you're okay with some taco.
These are facts. These are facts.
Put the
These
beef
are
in the
facts.
taco is the metaphor.
Like I eat pussy. Like,
well, there we go.
I'm,
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
all
I'm
out
into
in the
girls.
open.
Remonetized.
So somebody told me, and this is what I wanted to ask you as a woman. Somebody told me that women are more, what is it? Like more experimental or whatever.
Yes.
Is that
yes.
true?
I would call that true just based on the fact
But
that
I'm a man, so I have no idea.
I would agree with that just based
Okay.
off of our society.
Yeah.
the impression of the culture as is.
Right, exactly.
The impression of the culture as is.
Exactly, because it's okay for me to like other girls, but it's not okay for you to
no,
like another
for
man.
sure.
Yeah.
So I wanted to
that's
ask
just bottom
because
line.
I've been told by many women and people that's like, for women it's more like.
Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. I
Yeah.
feel like, in my experience, like in all the people that I've met, I wouldn't say that females are more experimental.
Oh, okay.
I
Yeah.
feel like it's more encouraged.
Encouraged.
Yeah,
That's
but
interesting.
realistically
Very
speaking,
interesting. Yeah.
realistically speaking, a bitch ain't gonna eat pussy unless she's really into it. Like it's different.
There you
It's
go.
different than a man asking you to put a finger up his ass. Like,
That's
totally
actually
different.
that encourages a really good point because running
We
on
went off the rails there at the end, but okay.
y'all know
it
what
got
I
real.
mean.
Because so let's run on like the actual classic definition of homophobia, which is the fear of gays, as opposed to
Is
like.
anybody actually scared of gays though? Because I hear
It's-
homophobia
I'm sure.
a lot.
Okay. Let's
scared of that?
That question is very
Okay.
simple. It's not. It's that yes, they can be scared because they. It goes back to the point of men are scared of gay, like straight men are scared of gay men in those ridiculous circumstances because they're recognizing
Okay.
that it is another man who has just as much ability as them to force a situation. Like I think every man at some point recognizes they have the physical capacity to rape a woman just based on physicality, not based on what they
No,
want to
of
do or
course,
anything
of
like
course,
that.
of course.
But the way the way testosterone makes the body of a male grow equates to better
Right.
combat
Just
effectiveness.
stronger.
Yeah, just generally speaking. Like
So he's afraid for his butthole.
yeah, or he's afraid, and especially with like good point, but especially with how
You're a hoot.
being gay in the puritanic culture that is because we come from Puritans, and that's where
Oh, I know. Trust
yeah
me.
yeah. So like the
Puritanical as hell.
yeah, so the way American Christianity has developed over the past 300 years is way different than European Christianity and Catholicism, which is a touch more accepting,
True.
per
You
se.
are saying a lot.
Yeah.
Yes.
So when you have sort of the classic image, I think that at least comes in my mind, is you have the rednecky, Christian guy who like hears about the gay stuff. He's like, no, I don't want to deal with that shit. And he's scared of getting converted because
I feel attacked from Lake County.
you're not.
I'm from Lake County. I feel
I
attacked.
understand
He's
how
not
much.
talking
I'm
about
just
you.
kidding.
Just
Yeah,
let him.
you are too dark to be classified as a redneck by most. Okay, you have too much tan going on in that melanin game. So
Fair.
like the fear of homophobia, I think goes back to either you're afraid of people like going to hell in a general like compassionate sense, or you're afraid of like being made gay or something like that. Like that's where you see the guys or the very conservative mindset of I don't want to be introduced to something that I might like, even if it's like my wife putting a finger up my butt, because it feels dirty and shit like that.
Wow.
Okay,
Bingo.
so you have the homophobia
Sounds
of the
good,
fear of the
so-
gays because they have been lauded as very evil and very like creating hurricanes at the ridiculous level. Thank you, Pence. And
Not fair.
when he says it, I quote.
I don't think he said that.
I don't know. I've been watching like the roast of like Alec Baldwin and others lately. It's fantastic material.
It's so funny.
Oh, it's great. So like this is where we go back to the part where women are more encouraged to be experimental because
Right.
it satisfies anything that the classic perhaps toxic masculine mindset would be like, yeah, lesbians because that's okay because I like it because like
Right.
men have been quote unquote in charge,
Right.
like quote unquote, as much as like women have been like running the household forever.
Yeah.
That's a lot to unpack.
The thing-
Everything.
right.
No, I'm not saying you're
Yeah,
wrong. I'm
yeah.
just saying that is a lot to unpack because.
Right.
And then you have sort of the like this is where I think men in farther reaching history were much more effeminate and fluid, like maybe going back as far as Socrates for sure.
No, for
With-
sure.
with
I mean,
Greco era?
at least in European
Yeah.
society, they were called dandies because they liked to party.
Yeah. And so you have the Christian mindset. The church finds something to hang on hard to, which would be like an anti-homo stance with at least like the one batch of verses in Genesis or whatever early book it is out of those first 4.
Well, there's a few, but yeah.
Okay. Well, Sodom. Well, I like Jordan when he analyzes Sodom and Gomorrah in a more full text. But anyway.
Yeah, that's a good one. For sure.
Did you get to that part of that series?
Oh yeah, for sure.
So good.
But let's not forget Leviticus as well.
Yeah. So that's where you have men not being encouraged to be very sexually thriving because it could open them up to being persecuted for more easily
by being labeled.
Yeah, because men unlike women, like women do have their groups, but men, especially in like their young adulthood, it's a staple that they have their groups of guys, their gangs that they roll with.
Yeah, of course.
And gangs are always thought of in like a very much hood urban sense. It's violent and drugs and shit, but we all know that we had a group of more than 4 guys that we hanged out with all the time, and that's basically a gang. By like probably definition, at least as my dad put it. So we all grew up with gangs as men, and that's how men culture just is. It's just how the biology works. Because women at even young age, like teenagers, women are more often than not dating higher up the age ladder, higher up the hierarchy. And so normally the guys at that level are either having to date lower, or they get a toxic woman to like date lower, but then they're the girl's bitch. So those guys sitting at the average that are both 14 and 14 years of age, with the 14-year-old girls are dating higher, and the 14-year-old guys are sort of left like, nothing to go for. So they gang, and now you have to deal with the social pressure of whatever is probably in the mass pop culture equates to the standard. Right. So in the puritanical line of Christianity that's dominated American culture for the majority of its existence, you have the not well thought out idea of homosexuality, and it can get turned into very toxic things and very primitive mindsets when you have just think of like fucking the worst idea of like the Texan redneck, and that's your gang. You have simple basic Christian values, and then they can get turned toxic very rapidly because of how not well developed the concepts are. And so that's where it can equate to where guys are not encouraged to be experimental in the sexual realm. Right. Girls are, because it's subtly introduced. Like, girls have the huge dichotomy of being demanded to be very conservative, but be whores.
Yeah. 100%.
Like,
I would agree with you outside of the relationship, but I think
outside of the relationship.
I think the dynamic changes. I think men are very sexually expressive when they're comfortable within a relationship with said
that's
wife,
but that's a very different thing.
I disagree.
Really? Well, you're with some strange men, maybe.
I'm gonna guess.
Yeah.
Her men are very likely worried about what their friends would think, because
they're worried about what I would think.
Yeah, because the culture extends to what everyone thinks.
Why would men be worried about what their friends think when they're in a relationship?
No.
With
because
a woman?
we are social animals, unlike you.
I'm not.
I know.
Normal
you like
men.
me, you like your brother.
Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry.
I'm just kidding.
You like me,
right.
You like me, your brother, Melanie, and Vanessa, and that's like it. Everyone else is just fodder that you respect, generally speaking.
Look, women, it's sexy for a woman to be...
Sexual.
To be sexual, but to be sexual with another
within a
woman.
relationship.
For men, it's like, obviously, like, if my man was just like, babe, can you lick my asshole? Like, even as much as he wanted me to do it, he would never ask because he's afraid that I would label him gay. Or whatever.
Yeah.
He probably is.
No,
I'm just kidding.
No, like,
I'm just kidding. But
you see what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying.
That's
it was a joke.
No. You just proved my point.
Okay, first off,
it was a joke.
In the sake of understanding free speech, your joke, I can enjoy the laugh on it.
Hilarious.
But jokes always indicate, they're like a very good litmus test of the culture.
Right.
And so your joke is a litmus test of a culture that, as our reaction sort of shows, is being challenged, because like he's probably is gay because he likes butt stuff like on him.
regardless of the fact that he only wants a woman to do it,
Yeah.
not a man.
And like he's only sexually
so by
attracted.
definition, he's still not gay.
Yeah.
But it's just the stigma.
Like there's
They associate anal play with homosexuality.
We're associating like sexual actions regardless of the partner. We're regarding whatever you like to feel sexually is defining your preference. So the fact that you're only attracted to women has no bearing if you like any interaction with your butt.
That seems ridiculous.
I know it's ridiculous.
You're right.
No,
but this
and
is
I'm
right,
just
but
saying,
that's
and that's not my
like the
viewpoint on
culture
it,
or
but
the
because
societal, you know.
I don't know, it's the
Again, we
waters get muddied very easily because
That's such a
Muddy.
bad
euphemism.
That's such a bad saying.
Euphemism. No,
Sorry.
because
It's a euphemism for poop.
I'm sorry. We're so
damn it,
stupid.
Aaron, we are so stupid.
What's your point? I apologize.
No, I guess my point was that I lost
I
it.
forgot.
It's gone.
Things get
But
muddy.
no, it
yeah.
gets muddied easily, and even though that's not my viewpoint of it, and
Yeah.
I consider myself to be pretty open-minded on a lot of things.
Yeah.
As a straight male, I couldn't give a shit what anybody else does as long as they leave me the hell alone.
Yeah.
Right.
But I've met a lot of, I guess, gay men who are, they're still putting themselves in boxes and restricting themselves because they don't want to be, even though they
don't wanna
openly
be
admit that they're gay, they still don't want to be
Viewed as straight.
or too far down any other spectrum. And I'm
Yeah.
just like,
But you
dude,
know what?
at some point you just have to let go and not
Right.
care what anybody else
Right,
thinks.
and that's what I was gonna say. You are sure of yourself. You know who you are. Maybe that's a big reason
Totally.
why you don't need to like gang and fit in.
Right,
And
that's
you,
true.
you know, I mean, you're different.
I'm a weirdo, I know.
No,
You're
it's-
Will's
it's-
brother out of Stranger Things
I know.
one. That you are. Like,
That's a good show. Have you watched that show, by the way?
Stranger
No,
Things?
Okay.
no, I have not.
You can leave.
Marathon.
That's why I didn't go to your party, Aaron, because
Please, there's
I was gonna feel lost.
You're fine.
I didn't go to his party
No, I'm
either,
kidding.
and
I was
feel like he
babysitting.
was mad at me.
I was
because of that.
babysitting. I was asked to babysit,
No.
and I felt bad saying no.
I was sad that I was a touch sad because I expected a bigger turnout in general. Because, like, it used to
Val
be.
said she came. She said
Yeah,
she
she
had
came.
a good time.
She
told me had a
came.
good time.
She-
She's a black girl. She has a really poofy hair.
Yeah,
Really
Valerie
cute,
Auxillo?
adorable, super
Oh.
nice.
Yeah.
You don't like her? She's a
No,
fondness
no,
of
she's
you.
cool.
Okay.
But I've seen a different. I've seen the side of her that you see come out of some people when you tell them no.
Ooh, I haven't seen that side of her. I've only seen the very happy, go lucky
Yeah, silly.
side.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Interesting. Anyway.
Val, you've been called out. I'm just
Yeah,
kidding.
no. Well, I'm about to call her out in general, like maybe, but like so her and her boyfriend came, and unfortunately, in my mind, all they did was sit on like at my couch with the coffee table and play like on their
On their
their
phones.
on their Switches like the whole party.
Who brings a Switch to a party?
Somebody who's really into that.
They're both-
Somebody who
Nintendo
should have just
life.
stood home.
They're both heavy gamers. Michael did like give it a look
And I get
around,
that, but
and you guys saw that.
Take a break.
Well, you guys saw that I had the JHP live stream going like the whole party, like it's a freaking like 7 hours.
Did you?
Yeah.
I saw that. I was like,
Oh,
what the
that's
fuck?
cool.
Yeah.
Lasted
Very
7
nice.
hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just turned it on,
Awesome.
had this set.
And people would come in and just say,
Yeah, just rotate. I just had people
Wow,
rotate. Like
that's awesome.
There's a lot more structure that I had in mind, but the level of execution that went into that event was way lower than what it could have should have been for probably a lot of reasons.
So, like, your execution, say, last year with the 20s theme, you said that
Way
was
better.
That's the one I went to. And
Maybe
that
it was the theme
The
that...
t-
I don't know.
No,
I'm not even a Halloween person.
It's not
to
the
be
theme.
honest.
Oh, I know.
It wasn't the theme.
I remember one of our first conversations
Yeah.
was about that. Do you remember that?
It wasn't the theme of the party for this year. This year just lacked on execution on my part in a lot of ways.
Meant more to me.
But yeah,
Thanks a
no.
lot, Vanessa.
It was a good time.
Just kidding.
It was a good time.
What the fuck? What was so meaningful about that conversation?
Biggest highlight of that party though was that a former coworker of my current job, Andrew, he lent us his smoker.
You smoked some meat?
And you smoked some meat?
We smoked some ribs. Like, we got ribs.
That sounds so good.
And when I realized that ribs are like 15, 16 bucks a rack.
Yeah, they're really expensive,
really,
right? Yeah.
Well, no.
Publix, right?
Well, maybe. I don't. Yeah, we went to Publix or whatnot. But, like, we smoked them, and Evan, my boy Evan, he hacked together the rub.
Yeah, I was gonna say who spiced
Dude,
so good.
Go hard. Like, I've never had ribs that good, and now I'm just like looking at Melanie like, I can't wait till we move.
I'm starving.
I'm so hungry.
Dude, I want to get a smoker, just for like doing that. Like, oh yeah,
it's a good investment.
I'm about it. I'm about it because we smoked them for like 4 hours, and then popped them, and then I was like, oh, this is too fucking good. Like, I finally got to eating after hosting and everything.
Nice.
But yeah, the JHP podcast released that first episode or whatnot, that big giant live stream for the party. The initial idea was supposed to be like 30 minutes or an hour in, and then do a full rotation of the cast, but there just wasn't enough people. Okay. And funny enough, so you know how me and Melanie did the improv classes at SAC? We had we invited a couple, or well, the now wife of the two, Charlotte. Her and her husband came to the SAC to our party, and because we'd gone to like a game board party that they hosted, because they have like billions of game boards and board games and such. And so we invited them, but they had no idea. They couldn't 100% confirm in their minds like it was who they knew from class. They just knew we were from SAC. So like, and I had just shaved.
Oh my
so
gosh.
they didn't even recognize you.
That's hilarious.
So like me and like we've got
Taryn.
the decent setup. We go back to get dressed for the rest of the night or whatnot, and I come out, and so they're both like sitting on my couch in the middle of the party. They don't know anyone, and they're not even sure.
Why do you have his number?
God, that's so
Why does he
strange.
have your number?
That's a good question.
Who is that?
There's that old gentleman that you were referring to before.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
the one that has like the unfortunate like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
He's
seems-
a big fan of mine.
He's a big fan of pretty boys in general.
Oh, thanks, Vanessa.
Sorry to cut you off.
That's a little weird. So I come out and I'm like, I'm not dressed anything crazy for my outfit or anything like that. And I come up and I'm like, hi, how are you doing or whatnot. And I'm glad you came because like I can recognize them. And they're like, hey, yeah. And she is the extrovert of the two. And so she's like, yeah. So like we want to make sure you know us from like SAC or whatnot. We wanted to like just we were at SAC or whatnot. Like it's very clear she doesn't recognize me.
Right.
She has no idea who you are.
She has no idea.
Jesus.
And as I start talking, I see the recognition like cards start rolling. It's like level 1, level 2, and I see her start coming back because me and we spent 8 weeks together, like 3 hours every Sunday, and her and I had like, at least for me, I don't know about her because she's done plenty of performance stuff. Her and I had a scene where the premise of the exercise is that so you two go sit up on chairs on stage, on the effective stage, and so in your mindset, both before and when it's just the class is being discussed what the activity is going to be in on stage, the teacher is telling you you've been prepping for this for 6 months. You know exactly your lines. You've got this nailed down. It's all that sort of mindset you set before you do a performance. The thing is that it's improv. So there is no actual script that you've been setting for 6 months. There is no choreograph that you've nailed down or how to get your intonations down or anything like that or your subtle movements. But you imbue that level of confidence. And so we were the first ones that day, and long story short, we just nail it like Jesus on the cross. What was
the scene about? What did
the only prep we got is that this time she's back for blood or something like that. Is like it's all the prep we get.
So it's
this time she's back for blood. That's all there was. So it's me and it's just me and her on stage. We actually got to. Have you been to SAC before? Yeah. We actually, because of how it just worked out for our class, we got to actually be in the main theater and use the actual stage for 8 weeks.
Yeah, wow. I've been there.
Which was really cool. It was just a nice little thing. Otherwise, you're like upstairs, but you know it's all a stage. And so like we just go right into the scene, and I'm just like feigning that I'm like having a meal, and she's working like in the kitchen or something like that, and she just starts like going the fuck off, and
devolves into like us being a couple that are having huge issues. And
Wow.
so, you know, my natural tendency to be a negative character.
Oh, totally.
And it's one of my worst things. It comes from my cynicism. It comes from my own like experience in life betrayal. So like trying to be a more positive person is like on my list, but it's like gonna be something I work at for decades. It just is. But I got to bring that character into the perfect scene, so to speak, where I just pull out like the worst insults ever on what is effectively like my wife in the scene. And it for me. And so we do that, nail it. And the first comment out of one of the people in the group that I sensed he had some decent background in performance. He basically says like, you've raised the bar for all of us on doing this.
Wow.
Like we just nailed it. And so like for the next like 2-3 weeks, I had that sort of classic issue where you've peaked so hard in your career that you're scared you'll never get there again. I had a microcosm of that, where I was just psyched out for like the next 2-3 weeks, especially because like with just working with her and being able to just sense like a really solid batch of chemistry on the performance, because we were both good with physicality. Like one solid rule is that like if you create a table in that scene, you can't forget that table. The moment you walk through that table, the audience is like, well, now you've thrown out, which was a very physical thing, even though you just like mimed it. We were, really good on that. We reached the peak of being able to say things that you'd never say to another person, but both of us fully grasping this is a scene and we're going to make it peak. And, he cut us short before she could murder me or whatever it was going to be next. Because, like, what was it? Oh, I love this. So in my Discord with my Marines that I play with all the time, we'll do things like, I'm going to fuck you in the ass. And, like, the reaction's just
with
like...
his Marines.
Yeah. The reaction is just like, go on. Like, just this, like, little thing. So, our peak moment in that scene was like, she's like, I just feel like leaving this house sometimes. It's getting the fuck out of here. And my reaction was just, go on. And then, like, Jay cut it. And so, like, it was like peak for me in terms of performance for improv as well as just stage in general. Because while I had done, like, full, like, church plays and, like, could memorize script and got huge praise for it, when you're, like, in elementary school, like, young elementary school ages, it doesn't stick as anything per se.
Right.
But anyway, so she's there.
So she's
slowly recognizing you, and I think her husband like caught it much faster than she did. But as I kept talking, he's like, yes, it's you. And Melanie comes around the corner finally. He's like, yes, there we are. I'm confirmed.
Yeah.
And I was like, and I checked with her. I was like, the more I talked, the more the asshole became apparent. She's like, yes, exactly. I'm like, perfect.
Jeez.
So yeah, for like.
So the beard wasn't your.
For like less than a minute.
It was buried deep down in there the whole time.
For less than a minute, I was unrecognizable to someone I'd spent like 8 Sundays with. Yeah.
It is quite something though. How different.
No, I told you. I look at my graduation photo.
Yo, it is like night and day.
I looked at my graduation photo. I looked at like even just like that batch of photos for like right before graduation, just going around the campus.
What is that?
And I just don't recognize it. That's a hatchet I made out of metal.
Oh, nice.
No.
I'm like really into weapons. Like I know.
Oh, me too.
I know that makes.
Let me show you.
That
I show these like every
that
episode,
adds to the stereotype of what I am, but
For everybody online can see.
Okay, how do you
This
sharpen
is a hatchet?
Oh, I have a whetstone you can use too.
Okay.
But you
This
can
shit's
also.
heavy, but you know what? The only thing I would suggest is maybe like a guard, like something to.
Would you like to
keep
see the hatchet?
Something to keep your hand from moving forward, but.
It's my letter opener.
Ooh, look at this.
What, this one? I was just kidding.
Also, yes.
Hatchet. Okay.
You're so silly.
It's like, honey, why is my letter all fucking jagged?
Yeah, I know.
Did you make this?
Yeah.
Or wow, I like the
This
grip
is
on
badass.
it.
Yeah.
I like this.
The grip.
Yeah.
It's good for like really getting in there, you know.
I have an ex-friend that
Or just
that
opening a
makes,
letter from the mail.
Or opening a letter.
weapons
Yeah,
and stuff. And
From Santa.
It's not. Yeah. No. These are the two things that I made with my uncle when I was going over
Thank
there.
you.
I remember I told you about that, right?
You did.
Yeah.
I didn't realize this is like.
Yeah,
I wanna.
That's literally a piece of metal that I like drew out of chalk out of like a bar and then
that's
just
cool.
plasma cut.
I'm in.
Okay, speaking of weapons, has anybody turned in? Has anybody actually applied
No, I still have it in the back of my car.
We haven't.
Okay, so we
So
all
bad.
attended a fucking concealed carry.
We sure
concealed
did.
carry
We
course. Like what? Like
Couple-
8 months ago.
Yeah.
5-6
Like
months.
8 fucking months. I think it was.
Terrible.
I think I didn't even know Giovanni at that point.
You didn't.
You didn't?
Okay, and
You
we
didn't.
just made 6 months
Yeah.
together.
I think you were still with like homeboy McGillicuddy.
Yeah, no,
I don't even
know
remember.
what you're talking about.
I have this thing. Okay, so I have. Let's put it this way. I have a lot of female friends in my life, and I hear so much their dating relationships that I forget all of them.
Good. So,
Like I just don't care.
yeah.
Like I'm sorry. Like I'll give
So-
you good commentary and advice, and then I will go back to what I was doing.
yeah, no, you gave me advice about this one, but
Probably a whole bunch.
I didn't listen.
Probably a whole bunch of stop,
And
drop,
lucky
and
for
roll.
me-
Vanessa's not a listener.
Lucky for me, he did a 180 on his own. Because as we all know, you cannot change a man. A man has to decide that this is the woman I'm going to change for, or I'm going to improve for. And he's making it seem like I'm that woman.
Here's the thing,
But I don't
Vanessa.
know. I don't know.
As a cynical person, you're not cynical when it comes to him, and I find that interesting.
You're right.
And I find
You're
that kind of
right.
weird.
I'm extremely dismissive when it comes to
You have this thing-
and
okay.
red flags.
Here's
You ignore all red flags.
I have.
I do not. I'm colorblind to red.
No.
No. I have a great line for this. I wish I could attribute. I wish there was an original person for quoting it. It's the problem with Vanessa. While she's very hypercritical of everything until she gets rose-colored glasses on, the problem with the rose-colored glasses is that every red flag just looks like a flag.
These are facts.
It's true.
And you are such a giving and agreeable person in your relationships
True.
that
True.
you will tolerate some waste management level shit. Like if it belongs in my trash can, you'll say no. Put it in
I'll
the bed.
still love it.
Yeah. Like
So, and I'm saying, I guess I just want you to acknowledge that and say, okay, maybe I can put my normal feelings towards something aside and look at this objectively sometimes.
Trust
And
me,
I'm
I
so
try.
happy that you're happy. I'm not trying to ruin anything, but I just want you to be smart.
it's the principle of treat yourself as someone you were taking care of.
Yeah.
You're right.
Like
And
you
I don't,
probably have given
And I don't.
you've probably given great advice to Bree, but you haven't.
100%.
I'm
But
sure
you've
you give
never-
the best advice,
But
right?
you've never given that advice to yourself per se.
You know what? My thing is that
You're living your best life.
No. My problem, one of my many problems is that I don't like headaches, and I don't like them so much that I dismiss a lot just for the sake of not arguing or
Right.
not being able to, like, I'm the type of it could be, you could call me an idiot for thinking this way.
No, I'm just ignoring you now.
But if it takes for me to deal with X, Y, and Z so that I can have ABC, I will.
Okay.
I'm at a point in my life where like Aaron said, I will tolerate things because there obviously is still a benefit there for me. Meaning like, and it can speak for any relationship, post-divorce or pre-divorce or whatever. Even my fucking marriage. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm living day by day. I just at the end of the day, the bottom line is enjoy the beautiful moments that you're blessed with.
Totally.
And that's it. And I feel like those moments are worth
Ignoring,
the headaches
yeah.
or the disrespect or whatever, because I'm not afraid of that shit. Call me fucking crazy, but I'm not afraid of getting hurt. I'm not afraid of somebody like I can live with the idea of losing somebody and being okay in the future. Yeah. And so I still wear my heart on my sleeve. I'm not afraid of like jumping, from when I love you to the next. And it's not smart. It's not smart. I don't know what I'm doing. I feel like I did go by the book with my marriage and it still fucking failed. So, I don't know.
That's some Jim Carrey level shit right there, too.
Yeah, like, I don't know. I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
Powerful stuff, though.
Yeah.
I mean, at least you're cognizant of it.
Yeah.
Like, as it's happening and front of you, and I don't think you're in a bad spot. Honestly, you seem very happy. Honestly, so I guess I wanted you to be. I guess I just want you to be happy, and I want you to be smart about it, and I don't want you to be taken advantage of.
And that's the thing, you know. Being cynical, I question. Okay, what is being smart? What is the right type of relationship to have? Because I noticed I met the lady who introduced me.
Look this shit up.
The lady whose husband introduced me to my ex-husband. She was. Her and her husband, and I don't even know if they're still together, but I looked at their relationship, and she was the type of woman, she was faithful to him, had his back in his corner, his day one, very responsible lady, a very conservative lady, but for some reason he felt the need to disrespect her, and in multiple different ways, and it included him having a drug problem.
Oh, wow.
And she was just supporting him, like disappointed, but she still loved him, and their good moments were worth all of the bad, if that makes sense.
Wow.
Like I looked at their marriage, and I looked at their relationship, and I looked at how they looked at each other, and how no matter what they never gave up on each other, and how it was like this unconditional, limitless, you know, imaginary fucking unicorn that I had never seen in my life, because I had seen relationships end over the stupidest shit, you know, and so I was just looking at that, and I was just like, you know what, I learned that
Melanie's home.
I learned that whatever is working for them works for them, and it was a pivotal moment in my perspective on how I looked at relationships, and it affected my marriage. It affects me till this day. Like, I carry that with me, and I'm just like, you know what? Like, regardless of what we want to paint as the perfect relationship, I feel like one really just doesn't exist. I feel like moments are perfect.
Yeah, totally.
But
yeah.
You know, and it's you're gonna have to.
Hello.
The Mellows finally made it.
Long time no see.
Oh, Will, I looked up on what Roman hedonism is, and like, no, that's too simple of a philosophy. I can move the chair, and you can get around to have a proper hug and join this madness.
I'll just come over you in a second.
What time is it? 6:46.
Huh?
I'll just come over you in a second.
Wow, 2 hours and 45 minutes.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like
Actually,
that long,
so
right?
I was hard locked on that 7 o'clock cutoff, because there was going to be a podcast that was going to come in and record afterwards, but they canceled. So, if y'all are good, like, continuing.
Yeah, we'll continue.
We can continue until when y'all need to go.
I do want to get home at like a decent hour, so I would say 7 is okay.
Yeah, 7's fine.
Yeah.
Welcome. I love the jacket.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely you.
I'm also already beating it to hell and back already.
Yeah, she does that.
As you should.
Yeah.
That's what leather jackets are for. They're meant to look used
Well worn.
and
Well worn,
and
absolutely.
worn and
Loved.
yeah.
More this way.
So I just
No,
finished.
you're fine.
No, so Brandon doesn't block you. Right now, you're about to block
Oh,
her.
am I? Oh, sorry.
We're about camera angles, not, like, other bullshit.
Yeah, so I was done saying what I was saying.
I think that.
I made
no,
my
no.
point.
I feel like that was.
That's where I'm at now, honestly.
But it's good though.
You're kind of just swinging wildly, and it kind of sounds like you're...
wildly. That's what you got out of
She,
that.
well, more or less. I was looking up what Roman hedonism was during all
You
of
said
that.
Roman hedonism.
Will. He has a reply now. Let me read it here.
Oh.
I can only delve so deeply into the intricacies of exploring the potential of individuals in relations to others with the YouTube comments. I deal in shorthand. That's fair, Will. I understand that.
Thank you for the comment.
Apparently, we need to like get you on to like do a proper like explanation.
Oh,
of what
totally.
Exactly.
Bring him on.
Exactly.
Actually-
Which Will is that?
Will Martin, you haven't met him. He's our ginger goat.
Oh
dwarf
my
man.
gosh, different Will Martin. Because
Okay,
Will
I was
Martin
gonna-
called me during this podcast, and I was like, "Oh, okay."
Getting into that deep would require a physical presence.
So
Soon.
that's the Will who wrote
That's
the sci-fi
writer.
book.
That's the writer. Yeah, that's the writer that you
Excellent.
met last year.
Love talking to
I would
him.
like
That's
to
the one
hear
that you
that
sat and literally
podcast.
talked with.
I
for,
literally
like,
sat and talked in the
I
corner
think,
with
like,
him for
2 or
many
3
hours.
hours.
I love
The whole
talking to
party.
that gentleman.
The whole party, basically.
Yeah,
Great guy.
basically the whole
Yeah.
party.
Sorry, guys.
And you were so concerned about Tiffany that kept walking in while you guys were conversing because
me
she kept
tell you.
getting more alcohol.
I have never seen a woman, let me tell you, let me break this down for you. She just kept chugging champagne for a good 2 hours. Like, she kept walking into the room. Hey, guys. Down her gullet. Like, every 5 minutes. And then Melanie would walk by. I was like, is she okay? How's she getting home? I was like, is she alright? She's had like 4 bottles.
Oh,
at this
jeez.
No, yeah, that's just advertising.
God.
Yeah.
I actually was talking to one of my coworkers like yesterday. And he was like, how was your weekend? And I was like, I was dreading on Sunday, coming back to work on Monday. And his response was, that's why I had 4 bottles of champagne on Sunday.
That's why.
God.
Drink all
Get
of her
nice
champagne.
Who buys that much
Nice
champagne?
and
Usually it's supposed to be
buzzed.
1 bottle for a fucking occasion. Like,
Nah.
who just has champagne bottles on stock like
You gotta
that?
have
Is this
it
your alcohol
coming
worker?
in
No.
by the
Oh, okay.
case.
No.
We've gotten free bottles of liquor from a friend of ours at work because he's got connections. So I've got
Yeah,
like,
his family owns.
Oh, did I tell you about Monkey Shoulder?
Monkey shoulder.
yeah, it's a
producer
Scotch blend.
company
Oh, is it
in,
good?
You want to try it?
Spain.
Yes, I would love
You want
to.
it
Yeah,
ice
free
or
alcohol.
neat?
Ice, please.
Okay. Let me get that set.
Mind you, my stomach is growling like a motherfucker because I'm
We gotta
starving.
eat. Sorry,
But
Vanessa.
no, I'll
We
be
gotta
heading out
eat.
soon. In case anybody hears it.
There's be peanuts.
Oh, I don't
At
like,
least-
I don't like
Have you
plain
got
peanuts.
glasses?
Thank you. He already offered.
I was about to say, get something in your stomach.
All she got was one of my chicken wings because I ate the Domu chicken wings
Yeah.
before.
So good.
Yeah, I
It smells really good.
Oh, yeah,
That'd be
no.
really good with a cigar, actually.
I got emotionally fucked up on that.
Emotionally.
You did.
This is so good.
Right.
Yeah.
Damn it.
And you're not that wrong. I think that's actually the one that he sat out with the cigar for like hours on.
This smells like it'd be
is
excellent
that?
with a
Let me
cigar.
see.
It's called Monkey Shoulder.
I think it's a blended whiskey.
You want to smell it? Do you drink whiskey at all or no?
A
little bit.
Yeah.
It's. I
No.
think that this whiskey is like relatively smooth, like comparatively.
You're as smooth.
Oh,
Tennessee whiskey.
thank you.
As Tennessee
Sing-
whiskey.
Saying smooth.
Love that song.
Have you heard
Shout
the
out to
gospel
Chris
version?
Stapleton.
Yo,
Shout
my
out.
man.
Have you heard the gospel version of the Golden Girls?
No.
Is it great?
It's
Oh, it
fantastic.
Sounds like it would be great.
The guy that does the gospel part actually like pulls his hair off halfway through. He's so into it.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Incredible.
So, if you're listening on the podcast, go look up the Golden,
Golden
Girls,
Girls.
gospel version of the
version.
theme song.
I'm definitely watching that on the way
It is
home.
fantastic.
Don't judge me. I do watch
It's
videos and
43
drive.
seconds.
Hey! Are you still whipping the GTI?
Fuck yes.
Ah, yes.
Come on, you know me better than that.
Gosh, so
Fast
good.
cars and freedom.
Such a great car.
I'm never getting.
Such
I'm
a great
gonna
car.
ride that bitch into the ground, like until the tranny blows. Fuck it. I don't care.
I love that car. I ran.
It's
I
so
almost
sexy.
ran over one of our coworkers. Remember that?
Oh shit! Yeah. No. So
In
when
the
I first
parking
got
lot?
the car. When I first got the car.
I think Aaron told me about this.
Yeah, I was just like, Brandon, come look at my car. And I was like, you want to drive it? So I let him put it in sport mode, and he just like full throttles the bitch in
I
the
sure
in the
did.
work parking lot.
I did.
And apparently, yeah, and so I was just like, you know, holding the freaking door handle, and yeah, it was pretty awesome. But it just so happened that somebody was in the parking lot walking, and yeah, they almost got hit.
She's
The
okay
keyword
though.
there is almost.
She's
How
okay.
dare they walk in the parking
How
lot
dare her get in my way
While
when
we're
I'm
trying
test
to-
driving that?
while we're trying to do
V-dub.
burnouts and shit.
Coaster?
Thank you.
Coaster. I'll pull that actually. That'll be good.
What a sweet guy.
Get this out of the way.
So sweet.
It's you.
That's a
Are you
lot of
doing it?
ice.
As it should.
That's just.
I'm gonna get you one of those.
This was the one that
molds.
you had the cigar with, right?
By the way,
I had your Santa Fe. Solid.
you loved it.
I was pretty solid on it. The thing is that I've also gotten to experience.
Best cigar I've ever had.
I've gotten to experience a lot of
Just a
good
little bit,
cigars
thank you.
lately, and the best ones aren't this thick bullshit
Good.
that we would smoke
That's good,
walking
thank
around the
you.
building.
the Santa Fe is my favorite cigar I've
I
ever
can give
had.
you a taste of the Cubans that my uncle
It's
gave me.
Florida sun-grown, where they do the tobacco and everything in the fields, and it's excellent. I
wouldn't
never
know. I
had a
don't fuck with
cigar.
cigars. Cigar smoke makes me gag.
Really? You're not supposed to
See.
inhale, though.
No. No, I
Okay.
mean,
Not
like,
just
if
in
I
general.
smell
Okay,
fair
somebody
enough.
smoking
Okay.
it, like,
I'm not a big cigar fan. The ones that I found that are actually pretty good, they're the like teeny tiny cigars, basically. Because they're not as, like, heavy, basically. So they don't have the same overpowering smell of cigars. Though, to be fair, when I got my first car, it smelled of cigars and Old Man, and it was the most
Cigars
fantastic
and Old
smell
Man.
in my cars ever
Disgusting.
had.
So good.
no offense to
Ah.
old men or cigars, but
I'm a fan of old men and cigars, and I feel like that'd be fun
I
to have a car that
not
smells
the
like
smell.
that. Remind me of my
No.
grandpa. Shout out to Peter in Indiana.
No. I need my car to smell like leather or new car.
No, I can't stand new car smell.
My
It
car
makes me
I love
smells
it.
like straight
I
up
love it.
cloth and Toyota.
I do Uber on the side, and my customers are just like, this
My
just
car
smells
smells
like
like
a new
Toyota.
car.
You
And
have
I'm just
such
like,
a sweet car.
Yes.
I can't wait to drive it and almost run over another
It's a
coworker one
2018
day.
Volkswagen GTI,
It sure is.
2.0 turbocharged,
Mm.
230 horsepower. Or
I
so.
think I had a semi driving
Stock.
it.
What else was it? It's an Autobahn, so it's the top of the line. It has all the features like the touchscreen, the leather. Sweet fucking ride. Like, got it for a good deal.
Try it?
Sure, I'll try it.
Yeah. I got fucked up on this talking politics.
That's actually really good. Oh, something
I
I'm
cried.
into. You cried?
I cried.
Lord.
I was at...
You don't need to be that into Bernie Sanders.
I wasn't. I was trying to run on...
Oh, Vanessa's not a fan. Sorry.
You're like my coworkers. They hate
You're like
Scotch.
me.
I think it's burnt charcoal.
It's straight alcohol. Like,
Oh, it's not though.
It
There's a little
doesn't-
smokiness at the end
no,
of
there's no flavor to that. It's just straight burning sensation. That's it.
it. You taste the smokiness at the end, right?
Oh yeah. Oh, I know.
Mm.
Because like
I
that
don't
was
like
obviously
whiskey
filled
either.
with Scotch before, and Dewar's was the one I had a really good experience on. And then I got introduced to Monkey Shoulder by my mother figure Tyler, and I tried it out at her mom's like 80th birthday or something like that.
Oh, that was that one.
That was that one, yeah. Where like I think I mixed a bit, but like I
He
went
was on the
hard on the
bathroom
Monkey
floor.
Shoulder, and I talked
Oh
politics
my
with one of their
goodness.
friends. Like really good, like good conversation. But like I like emotionally broke down because I'm always worried about like the deep rooted parts of systemic or cultural or political issues, and I was just going back and forth on it because I was just drunk and shit. So
We
I
should
feel like
go
I'm drunk
really.
right now.
We should go really deep next episode.
we can.
I mean, I feel like I did.
You went really deep on For You for sure. On other topics.
No, that was honestly really interesting because I feel like I needed to hear that because a lot of me didn't understand
A lot
some
of
of the
people don't
decisions you make
understand. Yeah.
because
Because it seems stupid. Or
that's
it
too
seems-
simple
It
though.
seems,
Short-sighted.
like I'm not looking out for myself.
Exactly, and
I get
and
it.
as a person
I get it.
that's beyond everything is like self-preservation and like be smart, and I'm like, she's smarter than that. Why is she doing
You
that?
know what, I
I
think
needed that deeper
it's-
understanding, and I appreciate you breaking that down for
Yeah,
me
I
because
think it-
No, you can take this with you.
It's probably weak of me. Because
I wouldn't
I'm
say
willing.
that though.
No, check it out. I'm willing just for the good moments. I'm willing to go through hell and
Yeah.
back
Yeah.
just for, not just the sex, taking sex out of it, but everything
Yeah.
else he gives me or he satisfies me with. Companionship, the way he touches my hair, the way he looks at me. I treasure those things like a lot. Obviously, to the
Physical
point
touch.
to the point where because it's my fucking love language.
That was about to
It's
say.
my love
I was
language.
like, damn it, that's your.
It's my love language. To be
yeah.
honest, the physical, like, because it's more than just physical.
Of
It's like
course,
it's
yeah.
the attraction. It's the chemistry. The
It's the way you feel loved.
Exactly, but it's on a more intimate level, you know. Obviously.
Do you how do I ask this? Let's see.
The chat is funny.
Do you, is it
Not,
Will?
Is
it Will?
I want to make it clear that I'm not laughing at any of the deep, serious things that she is saying. I'm laughing at the chat.
Fine. It's
Do
fine.
you feel like this is good enough for you?
See, and that's where I go and question, like,
That's
what is a
main
good,
question.
what is good enough, do I deserve it? I mean, okay.
As someone who's been single for a while, I know it's good enough because I've passed on a lot of things recently. And sometimes I think, should I just get into something for casual sex? And I'm like, no, because I don't really like the person.
But it's more than that.
And I'm not saying that for you. I'm just saying for me. But I want to know would you say, like, is this enough? If this was it, would it be enough for you?
He's trying to clarify and understand your value system.
You know what? I don't know. I don't know.
Fair.
And that's why I said before that I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I don't know what exactly I want. I don't know. You know. I don't know.
So I can defend that for you. I can help you defend that. Like, I don't think you need my hand to fucking live, but effectively, like, well,
Aaron.
you don't want to be that fucking guy for all these days.
I love
like,
you.
all of this is me just going, I know what I want to do. I have all the equipment, and I know what next levels of equipment I need. But pseudo, JHP, my personal stream, is the equivocal thing. I don't know what I want to do. I know that I looked at this back in 2015 in Austin. In the next, year, Mom got diagnosed and passed. So the summer of 2016, I go, like, hard on pseudo for the first time with my creative partner, Dell. And then we have to disband it on account of living situations and stuff. But, like, since then to now finally getting back at it and reviving pseudo into P2 and then JHP for my very personal pieces, you just kind of end up just swinging wildly in a generally good direction.
It's just what we're doing in the moment.
Yeah.
I could be settling. It could evolve, or maybe it won't. Maybe it'll just be this for the rest of my life, or for however long the relationship lasts. I don't fucking know. But I choose not. The difference between me and most people is that I choose not to dwell on that. I would prefer to be in a relationship and enjoy whatever good moments I'm blessed with, versus worrying about if it's gonna fucking last or not.
Sometimes I wish I had that power.
Right, versus worrying if I'm settling or not, or worrying if it's good enough for me, and because with that comes that value or that self-esteem and that self-value, which I'm obviously unsure of right now too. Yeah. So it's like, because that has recently been damaged. So it's like there's a lot going into it, and I'm not in a place to have any definitive answers.
It's very possible. It's very possible that what she's doing right now, in an unconscious and subconscious level, that she's just going into relationships, albeit it may appear very wildly, but she's probably trying to, like, not consciously, but parts of you may be trying to rebuild a value system, what a good relationship looks like and what you want out of good relationships. So, like, what you're doing looks like wild, teenage, reckless abandon dating.
I'm starting from scratch.
Yeah, because you are.
I'm starting from scratch. Because I'm questioning everything that I had previously believed, which is, I want to be married forever. I only want to be married once. I'm never going to give up. I'm going to do A, B, and C. We're going to have a house. We're going to have kids by this age. You understand, like, all the things that,
are clearly planned.
I'm supposed to do by X age, because that's what we've been.
Got flipped.
Yeah, it got flipped, and it got questioned. I'm just. It's complicated.
There's nothing wrong with that. And I find it fascinating because with people that I find interesting and smart and strong, I want to understand,
and
I guess, more deeply what they're.
I appreciate you saying that I'm strong, because honestly I feel like I'm weak because I'm in a phase where I'm figuring things out, I'm vulnerable right now. And that to me means being weak, and it's not always a bad thing. It's obviously necessary, and to go through. But
have you watched The Vikings?
No.
You need to watch The Vikings.
Okay.
Give the principle of the character.
Yes. So there is.
Is that a TV show? Is that a movie?
It's
Aaron.
a TV show.
I know she's driving at, but like people have lives. Like.
So The Vikings, there is the primary female character in it is a very strong female protagonist. She is a shield maiden. She is
Not to be fucked with. Someone tries to rape her. What does she do to him?
So like
Kills them.
By strong you mean like intolerant of
Bullshit.
everything.
correct.
Independent.
Okay, independent. Okay.
It's independence, but also like
Knows how to castrate.
welcome to the Vikings.
I mean, I would hope everybody would know. I'm just kidding.
Twist,
Stop
twist.
it.
The blood circulates
But to
and
finish,
dies and they pop off.
to finish what I was saying, like a lot of people, and I noticed that a lot of people call me strong, and I think it's because of how I handled the situation. I was strong because I wasn't the crazy ex-wife, because I didn't allow myself to go fucking insane or to go into depression,
Right, of course.
or to allow it to keep me down to the point where I'm not able to enjoy moments with Giovanni right now because I would have been sulking in the corner somewhere. Like, if you call that strength, then okay, that's fine, I'll take it. But I don't know.
You don't feel strong.
No.
Do you know that, and I'm sure you probably do, but 99.999% of women that are perceived as strong have the exact same feelings of saying, I'm not strong. Because you have higher expectations of what strength is for yourself when other people observing say, holy shit, she made it through that. I couldn't have done that. She must be so strong.
That makes sense.
And to be honest, like, I guess a European ideal was to accept everything that's happening in front of us and put on a brave face, and when you're alone you can shed a tear. And that was their idea of strength, and in a lot of ways that's how I at least try to live my life. I at least try to put on a brave face, and I guess in a way that is strength, because you are getting through it. But
because you're not showing your weakness,
right? But
your vulnerability.
No, but to be honest, some people do fall apart and let it affect every
aspects of their life.
There's
There's
a subtlety. There's a subtlety that's being sort of ignored because he's trying to get to he got to his good point from what I could tell. It's that you're sort of thinking that weakness would be like looking like falling apart. There's something that you have that is called like a very clear perseverance, and that shit's happened. It's hit the fan. It's gone horribly wrong.
Right.
But I'm still gonna go to my 9 to 5.
Right.
Like
That
we all would probably share a very similar agreement that if you had dropped down in position, if you'd quit your job and just lived with your mom and just sulked in the corner like some fucking new moon shit out of Twilight, like that looks weak. But you did your job. You do it well. You still care about people. Like you have become more quote unquote cynical, but you've kept it very narrative focused on personal relationships. And so that is very wise. You could call it strong. It's holistically minded. So we go to where you can hang out on the what you define as strong. Like if I think the healthiest sign of someone that's not a fucking sociopath is that they have people that they look up to. And you have people in your mind, like probably your mother and other mentors out there that like you may have never met. Where it's like that's what strong looks like to me. And you look at the mirror and you say you got a divorce to an idiot and you fucked up on your filter as you would evaluate yourself. You've had these idiots that you've dated with. Like you would just negatively evaluate every decision that you've done over the past 5 years. So the ability to apply strong to that person in the mirror is impossible for you when your faults are true, but they are not binding nor are they damning compared to like the positive impact you had on the two of us as just a friend at work that happened to be our superior to how you've been able to lightly, significantly impact people like I imagine Bree and, you know, helping Thalia probably make the transition over and other just people that might have been just passing through as basic employees. So like,
and to not look at yourself as a superior when dealing with your subordinates is so
you're
powerful.
You're not high
because as soon as that happens, you start, you know, treating somebody as an equal, as a human being.
Yeah.
Then you actually have a relationship with that person.
Yeah.
And that's why I feel like I'm so close with you, because nobody else acts that way.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. So, like, you're more than welcome to have your own opinions on yourself, but like, you sort of need to figure out how to divorce thinking about yourself, and then you need to like write.
Word choice.
Well, you need to be able to sit down and write down. Actually, there was that one Queer Eye episode.
Well, there's that one Queer Eye episode.
Are we gonna run that example or
two things?
Okay.
The Queer Eye example that he's talking about. There was an individual that was super self-deprecating, and he was like, you know, oh, everyone hates me, and
they call me the dwarf and stuff.
Correct, like all of these negative comments, but the only person making them was himself. And so what Kuromo, who was one of the five, for the Fab Five, did was he brought him to a dance studio, and stood him in front of a mirror, and played a 5-minute track of literally the first 30 minutes to an hour of them meeting, and all of the self-deprecating comments that he made. And he said, how do your family see you? How does your wife see you? How does your daughter see you? And made him write good father and all of those different positive attributes on the board, looking in the mirror, because the only one not seeing those good things about himself was himself. And so Kuromo said, write them all on the mirror, because this is what everyone else sees. The second one is, I think this is something that you may have done, but I think one of the things that you need to do that kind of helps you realize that you are strong, write your story with someone else's name.
Yeah.
Write your story with
good,
someone else's name.
I like that. That's actually really good.
I've done that in very small forms.
If you write your story and
It's
you
huge.
put someone
It's
else's
huge.
name, and you read that and you say, well, but that person made it through, they're strong. Why aren't you thinking that about yourself? Because that's you.
That makes sense. Thank you. I didn't mean for this to turn into a therapy session.
Oh, please.
For myself.
Oh, stop.
No.
Vanessa.
Well, I'm gonna give you this. No
I think
lie.
it's because everybody loves you so much. We just find you interesting.
I love y'all too.
Well, I'm gonna give you
It's
one
real
thing
shit.
is that like as much as like everything should be like good and fun in this content creation game is that I've wanted to always figure out how to get the very strong, intimate conversations that I've always been able to have with people. Some of the best rants that I've had versus like the good conversations we have. I know you do, honey. But I've wanted to be able to get them. I've wanted to get them with the consent of the participant on deck because I know they're very critical, huge things for them, and being able to, like, having an audience that can see that, see my talent, yes, but see like foundational changes in someone's like self view to perspective view is like huge. So this is the peak of the first 4 episodes of Pseudo, period. Everything else has been getting it right, getting it done, having fun. And this is the first time we've actually had very good, long, drawn out discussions of critical importance. So thank you for...
I'll be back then.
You're welcome for sharing.
You're welcome. No,
Well, I mean...
If you get Discord, you and I can do this whenever, and you don't have to drive all the fucking way over here either.
No, I actually do like coming over because I haven't seen you in a very long time.
I miss you
He
too.
just doesn't like to drive. Like, he would be over here
All
every
the
No,
time.
you're right.
If
You're
you had a
right.
teleporter.
You're
Yeah,
right. You're right.
100%.
It's just
or like
it
a,
is
a
far.
helicopter
Oh, I know.
or
I
something.
get
I would
that.
love to have everyone over for dinner if anybody wants
I'm
to drive
down.
an hour. You guys have to drive the hour.
Okay.
I'm down.
You know, we talked about you stop being self-deprecating. Stop being geographically self-deprecating. You piece of shit.
It's just that I love driving. So
Run the invite.
Well, I wonder
does
why.
he.
'Cause you have the coolest
Yeah.
car ever.
He loves driving too. You have plenty of friends that love driving and will happily drive to you, Brandon.
You guys
Listen,
must come over.
just cook me some good
Here's-
Italian food, and I'm over.
Mambo
I'm-
Italiano.
Will, don't
It's
do that to
done.
me.
It's done.
Oh, don't do that to me, Will.
What
What'd
did
he
he
say?
do?
So he very obviously he wrote for you. No one is a harsher critic than neurochemistry,
Good
than
lord.
brain chemistry.
I love this guy, by the way.
You know
I
what?
talked to him for many hours.
You're right.
Big fan of his.
You're right. 100%.
And then his next thing, which was for me, was the podcast I was waiting on from you, Aaron,
Aww.
which almost brings me to tears right now.
That's so sweet. I love this kid. Super cool.
You'll be fine with
So,
him, but it'll be a touch adjustment because, like,
He's gonna challenge me. I can see.
he's gonna challenge like
my
your
thought process.
he'll like I love you, Will. He'll challenge your social patience. Not that he's not autistic.
He's
or,
not. He really isn't.
He's not autistic or Asperger's or anything
no,
to where
not
it's
at
like you
all.
have to help figure out how to socialize him. Is that he's very
He's a little bit of an awkward turtle,
yeah
but in a good way.
yeah
In a really good way because
yeah he's very he knows who he is and what he's about. Like there's a whole bunch of don't give a
4
fuck.
hours at a party.
Yeah.
Like literally, like this is Brandon literally sat with him for like 4 hours. And
I
talked
did.
to him.
Because
Yeah.
I found him so interesting in the corner of a party. There was a big party going on. and
His
I just-
story is very like. It's where I love like actually talking to you guys right now. Is that I realize I'm waiting for things that indicate a need to have a one-on-one. So like I've had people in my pocket, but I'm waiting for like the right preamp to go. Okay, you and me are gonna sit down and have a JHP episode. And I felt that with Brandon tonight, but like now you're validating a reason to like a motivation in me, which is what I need. There's infinite value in anyone, but I know in doing things that if I'm not doing what I want to do, then I'm not going to do it.
Right.
And so now, like, Brandon's also providing, like, well, I need to have a one-on-one with Will because Will has a fantastic story and basically
Oh, totally.
Will socialized and built himself. Like, period.
I don't know what that means, but one day I'm hoping
So-
to find out.
Vanessa, You're so funny.
Like, I could try to break that down, but effectively, he was, I guess, was he homeschooled or something like that? He was homeschooled up till high school. He got to high school and
That's interesting. I didn't know that. I was homeschooled as well till high school.
yeah.
But he basically was like
He self-
isolated.
Yeah, he self-evaluated himself into a incredibly fantastic person in both a moral, ethical, and like how to be a good person way. Like he just thought himself through it. And he's been a big writer and everything. Have you thrown anything else up there, fucking Will? Nothing yet. No, this is correct.
This is correct. And he's humble. I'm just kidding.
He's just confirming
Oh
the
my
facts.
Oh, he's...
He should be published,
Yeah.
though.
Oh, yeah.
He is.
Wait, he hasn't published the work?
What, are you serious?
He's published? Did he publish a work?
That story
I
he
can't
sent
remember.
me is
Will,
published?
confirm in the comments.
Confirm in the comments, Will. Are you published?
Are
I
you-
thought that
are
he
you-
had gotten it published because I thought he and Mercedes were starting to work on book 2.
He has a Mercedes?
No, Mercedes...
I'm just kidding.
Yes, he has a
Oh my
Mercedes.
goodness. Okay. Wow.
In regards to ratio, Mercedes has an ass bigger than Vanessa. Like,
First of all,
She does.
I'm willing to challenge that.
No,
I
she
feel
does.
like I'll
It's
throw.
bigger?
It 100%.
Here's the thing.
Okay.
I'll throw a challenge flag to that.
Well,
have you met
mean,
Mercedes?
I think I did at the
No,
party,
I don't
right?
think so. She's
No, she
never
wasn't
been
at
at
the
my.
party.
Okay.
She's unfortunately never made it to my annuals, but she's about to be actually
Well,
back in
I
Florida.
respect him more now that I know that he likes big butts and he cannot lie.
No.
And not lie, Vanessa.
I think that's off. Are you talking about Will liking big butts?
That's his wife, right?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No,
Yeah, you
My
fucked.
bad, my bad.
You done goofed.
Mercedes
confused.
is just helping him with.
He's on the last step to
character-
publish
Last step to
because
publish.
there's like
Got
a 20.
you.
There's a 20-second delay basically.
Helping him.
Well, no, like she created a
Sorry.
character.
Yeah.
She created a character that is one of the pivotal characters in his book now.
Yeah.
But
He
he is
created
in
a
a
character for her, didn't he?
relationship with a woman,
Brit.
and that's in Britain.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so,
Yeah. Mercedes is married off to a good man.
yeah.
Military.
Mercedes is married
Military
to the
man.
You
Coast
missed out, Will.
Yeah. I don't think they never.
Sorry,
They never.
sorry.
They were never on that vibe. They
I'm
were.
shipping it, but nobody.
They were never on that vibe. I'll tell you this: the day you meet Mercedes is the day you go, I was wrong in my jokes. I was very wrong in my jokes. Like,
We'll see.
Yes, you will.
Oh, we'll see.
and I'm gonna sit there and I'm gonna laugh. Please don't break shit with my hatchet.
I love this
Please.
hatchet. I gotta see it again.
Yeah, don't.
So that was actually supposed to be like a cobalt.
This is pretty cool.
It was supposed to be a cobalt blue. So if you refract it, you can see the touch of blue that was supposed to be there, but it got burnt in the oven.
What did you make that out of? Like what?
What is it?
material
What kind
that?
of metal is this?
Think of like a basic steel bar that like has like holes at the end, and I just like took chalk, lined it, and then got a plasma
I
cutter.
do like this though. It's really cool.
Oh yeah, no. Doing that time with my uncle, helping him make a few knives, as well as doing these two pieces.
Wait, what 2 pieces?
I made these.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Because this is
I thought you'd be on that.
This is an obvious train spike that we threw in a forge, and then corkscrewed it with a specific with a vise and a tool.
Even though I
and
didn't
then
see it.
And then was it a hammer and an anvil to extend this out?
Cool.
And then grind it down to a blade. Please don't cut him.
That's badass.
Yeah,
Please don't cut me.
But I have a business idea with that specifically because Airbnb is shifting from
obvious train spike.
Yeah.
Stays to experience was.
Yeah, no, $50.
No
like
idea.
that, one of those on
It's
Amazon's
the
like
end
$2.
that really kind of gives it away.
Yeah.
So if I charge $50
That
for
part
like
is a train spike.
4 hours or 3 hours or 2 hours of just
I do
someone
like
like,
these. These are
hey,
cool.
everything's ready.
Still worth your time.
Sit down. Like here's the hammer and anvil. I can make this really fast for you anyway. But people get to basically come to my 5 acres and make their own train spike knife.
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
I would definitely pay for that.
So that's one idea because that's where we're gonna have a metalworking carpentry thing. Like we have all that wood out there. Melanie's actually been the best carpenter out of 2 of us, just out of doing things. She made that desk from scratch.
That's awesome.
Melanie.
Like some one of the we were in Home Depot and I just was sitting there on my phone watching like whatever just to kill time and like be the muscle if needed. And the Home Depot guy that was helping her was like, what, like he's not manly enough or some shit like that. In a way, like he wasn't very insulting, but he's like, shouldn't he be like a part of this? And it's like,
I was like, no, bitch, it's mine.
yeah, this is her project.
I want to do it by myself.
Not even like that.
I'm just kidding.
Not that plasticky, but like,
Sorry.
yeah. No. She did that, and then the bookcase that's in the far corner, the far right corner in the living room. In the living room, she stained that. She sanded and stained that. So she's right now been the stainer and carpentry work.
That's awesome.
9 books. He has. Oh, he's on the last. Will is on the last step to publish his first book. There's 9 books in the series, all worked on to various extents, and it's his alone. So Mercedes may. He has characters that are inspired,
Gotcha.
Correct.
but
Wow.
it's not like you and Ginger partnering on something.
He sent me. Oh, I forgot about him. My goodness.
Ginger?
So many words about him. But
Because he got the senior tech position or the trainee thing that you wanted because you were
above
pissed
me.
about it.
Above me.
He told me to tell you he said hi.
Yeah.
You know I'm his supervisor now.
Yeah, nice square. Love Ginger.
He's cool as fuck.
we all love him.
I
He's
know.
odd.
He's
He's not even odd.
He's not odd.
He's not odd.
You have
She
not
doesn't
said
know
that.
him
that
very
means
well.
that means he doesn't show me his true colors.
He can be very normal when he wants to appear that
At
way.
the last October
And I
annual that he
respect
had,
That was the
he
October
went
annual.
missing. And we had to go look for him. Because he was so drunk that he went missing. And we had to go find him in
Well,
the
that's what
neighborhood.
gingers do.
His wife was very upset because
She
it
sure
was. Like,
was.
yes, give me the absinthe.
I need
And
to.
I was like, where did he
You know
go?
what
And
I love?
everybody's like,
okay, I
"He's
gotta
missing."
say, I love this podcast because it's been so giving. Because I'm sitting there going, now I need to have a one-on-one with Will. Now I need to have a one-on-one with Brandon. Now I need to have a one-on-one with Ginger. Now I need to have Ginger in a fucking regular podcast. Now I need to get you fuckers back with Ginger. Like have a full farmer employee. Like I love you, honey, but you're not invited to the next one.
She's always invited.
It's gonna be like
Sweet
the
girl.
four. It's gonna be the 3 of us with Ginger.
It's been
here.
honestly so fun. I have never been on a podcast, so I appreciate you inviting me on. I was terrified before. I was like, what the hell do I talk about? But I guess we just went with it.
Sit and talk
We
about
just whatever.
Shut the fuck up. Thank you for coming readily prepared, unlike some people.
Wow. I'm from Lake County. Don't expect much.
You just moved to Lake County. You're not from there.
Yeah, you're right.
Stop acting like a native when you're an import.
You're
Fuck.
right.
You're just embracing that Claremont lifestyle.
You and your
Sure am.
goddamn Lake County passport.
So yeah, invite me over.
You guys are all
Yeah,
invited.
throw down. Like,
Thanks for having me on the
Yeah, I'm ready to
pseudo
go.
podcast.
I'm ready to go.
Yeah, it's 7:23, so we can call it here. Thank you, everyone, again.
Thanks,
Actually,
guys. Bye,
again-
Will.
Yeah, Will, you know this probably. So this has been Brandon, Melanie at the tail end, Aaron, and Vanessa. Yay for outro introductions.
Hooray for Billy Joel.
We totally forgot to introduce ourselves in the beginning.
No. Wow.
We've forgotten to introduce
Okay,
ourselves
so-
every single time.
Yeah, so the funny thing is that this actually, I didn't start recording it on OBS, my main program, till like we were like 15 minutes in.
What's OBS?
Open Broadcasting System. It's a free program.
YouTube.
So like right now the full thing has been recorded on YouTube, but that also includes the hour beforehand. We were waiting for Vanessa to get here.
Sorry.
You
So,
don't
yeah.
realize what's happening right now.
I'm about to.
Oh, hey!
Were you bunny earing him?
She was bunny earring.
Oh, this is fucking great. I still haven't ended the stream or the anything yet, so this is actually great. So bye.
Goodbye, everyone.